Chapter 157. Su Qian understood these people who only liked to talk face to face. Some powerhouses did not like to use mobile phones to communicate. Yun Qing's culinary skills were indeed good, comparable to some chefs. After the meal, Jiang Chongkong left alone. He would let them deal with the star stones first. When he returned, he would deal with them. Although rank 6 star stones were precious, Yun Qing and the others were not inexperienced people. They would not be greedy for a few star stones. Xiao Chun moved forward at full speed and arrived at the lunar wintry pond again. He was not in a hurry to go down. He activated his 5 senses and carefully sensed the surroundings. After confirming that there were no star demon or cultivators nearby, he went down. He jumped into the wintry pond, and the power of the moon filled the air as he dove down quickly. When he came to the ice pillar again, Jiang Chongkong's gaze became more serious. Last time, he saw the silver figure here. The star demon should be below. After converting the power of the blazing sun into the power of the moon, Jiang Chongkong continued to dive. The lunar wintry qi below was even thicker. Jiang Chongkong looked at the stones on both sides. They could already be considered rank 4 materials. As he dove, Jiang Chongkong's movements paused. He felt that there were things spying on him from all directions. The source of the spying came from all directions. Jiang Chongkong turned his head and looked at the ice pillar beside him. It was densely packed with toothpick-sized silver bugs. Boom! The water surged, and the lunar wintry qi was released. The silver bugs stirred the water and swarmed over. A black and white Taiji diagram appeared, protecting his body. When the silver bugs got close to the Taiji diagram, they were directly exploded by the Taiji qi. However, there was still a large group of silver bugs below. When all of these insects were put together, they looked like a silver dragon. Were the silver figures he saw at that time these bugs? Jiang Chongkong guessed. The Taiji diagram spun and killed the bug. These bugs were enough to threaten ordinary hidden star cultivators. Coupled with the power of the moon here, even a middle-stage hidden star cultivator would die here. After a few minutes, Jiang Chongkong stopped. Below, it could no longer be described as water. It was all silver-white liquid, and the bottom was very wide. It was like a lake filled with silver-white power of the moon. Such dense lunar star energy, could it really be the star steel? Jiang Chongkong muttered to himself for a moment, mustering his focus before entering the lunar lake. As the power of the moon descended upon him, it was as if he had returned home. Even with his strength, he could only see a meter ahead of him. Jiang Chongkong frowned as he sensed danger. The black and white Taiji diagram protected him. Boom! The lunar lake trembled. Jiang Chongkong saw a sharp claw strike the Taiji diagram. Although the terrifying power did not break the Taiji diagram, it still sent him tumbling. A star demon with the power of the moon star? Jiang Chongkong's expression was solemn. The other party had lived here for who knew how long, so he definitely knew this place better than him. Moreover, that blow just now was at least at the limit of the early astral soul stage, and was likely to be at the middle astral soul stage. With a thought, the Taiji diagram expanded, and the surrounding lunar energy started to retreat. Boom! The extreme Yin Lake shook once more. This time, it came from all directions. Danger was approaching. There was more than one star demon. Yuling Art, Taiji diagram, universal shift. With a thought, Jiang Chongkong only kept some lunar star energy, converting the rest into Taiji star energy and Yuling Art star energy. Boom! Dang dang! Several lunar star demon appeared. Sharp claws descended, but they were forcefully diverted, clashing with each other. With a cracking sound, 2 sharp claws broke. This time, Jiang Chongkong's body was as still as a mountain. Fortunately, it's only at the peak of the early stage star spirit realm. Jiang Chongkong heaved a sigh of relief. There was a star demon at the peak of the early stage star spirit realm, and the rest were at the hidden star realm. With such strength, coupled with the lunar lake, It was no wonder it was called the terrifying cold lake. The sense of danger assaulted him again. Jiang Chongkong took a step forward, and the lunar water surged, increasing his speed. Moonlight, a martial art that came from half a star steel. After avoiding the star demon's attack, Jiang Chongkong continued to dive. Moonlight was extremely fast here. In a breath's time, Jiang Chongkong had already reached the bottom of the lake. Clang! An inexplicable sword hum resounded, spreading throughout the lunar lake and exploding in Jiang Chongkong's ears. An extreme sense of danger assaulted him, and Jiang Chongkong felt his scalp go numb. Moonlight, moon shadow. Using the lunar steps, his fingers formed a sword and sword light rose. Like a waning moon, it flashed by. Boom! The lunar lake surged and a waning moon flew over, landing on the Taiji diagram. Crack! In an instant, the Taiji diagram shattered. The waning moon's sword chi penetrated his body, and the lunar power quickly swept through his internal organs. Golden blood dripped down. The indestructible Vajra could not withstand a single blow. What is it? Could it be a fragment of the lunar sword? Jiang Chongkong hurriedly took out the lunar sword tip. The lunar sword tip took out, and actually took the initiative to absorb the lunar sword chi in his body. Rumble! The lake of extreme Een surged, waves of boundless extreme Een water madly pouring into the tip of the sword. The sword tip also emitted a cold aura, followed by a sword intent that could destroy everything. It was like when he first encountered the sword tip, but now it was even more terrifying. Buzz! The lunar water in front of him rippled, and automatically parted, revealing the scene in front. Below the ground in front of him was a silvery white ice block. The ice block had mysterious patterns carved on it. There were still traces of sword chi on the patterns. The sword chi just now had been emitted by these patterns. And in the center of the patterns, there was a stone that looked like a stone stool. On it were two silvery white leaves, and they emitted terrifying lunar cold chi. Jiang Chongkong carefully walked over with the sword tip. The patterns did not attack him again. The two leaves floated up and landed on the sword tip. He picked up the two leaves. There was a small hole on the stalk of the leaf. The cold chi in the leaves was enough to threaten him. Were these two leaves related to the sword tip? This stone stool should be enough for me to forge a weapon. Jiang Chongkong picked up the stone stool again. The pure and terrifying lunar stellar power. He wondered if it counted as a moonstone. After putting away the things, there was nothing else around. The sword tip also stopped absorbing the lunar water. Jiang Chongkong held the sword tip and wanted to go to other places to take a look. However, he had just left the vicinity of the patterns when the star demon came again. The sword tip continued to separate the surrounding lunar water. Jiang Chongkong executed flowing moonlight and quickly dodged the attack. He prepared to go to other places to take a look. Clang! The shocking sword chi appeared again. Jiang Chongkong's expression changed, and he fled. Pfff. He was still a step too slow. Fortunately, he avoided being hit in a vital spot. The waning moon sword chi directly pierced through his calf. The sword tip absorbed the lunar energy that entered his body, and the Taiji mysterious art in his body quickly healed his injuries. Not daring to stay any longer, Jiang Chongkong directly rushed to the top of the lake and entered the icy pool. Below, the lunar water raged, and many silvery white star demon appeared, stepping out of the lake. Jiang Chongkong's injuries were not serious, but he did not dare to casually make a move in such a place. The strange patterns on the lunar water lake were too terrifying. If he got a little closer, it would be lunar sword chi. He rushed to the icy pool with all his might. Those star demon could not catch up with him. After he rushed out of the pool, they all retreated. Although I am slightly injured, I have a weapon. Jiang Chongkong heaved a sigh of relief and quickly left. He did not rush back to the research base. Instead, he found a place to heal his injuries. He could not hide his injuries from Su Qian and the others. Without the lunar power, these injuries were just ordinary injuries. With his current recovery speed, he would recover in about a day. Moreover, he still had to check if there was any information about this leaf on the internet. Chapter 158. There were a lot of discussions about the power of the moon on the internet, but they were basically nonsense. Only women could practice the power of the moon. Men would have too much energy if they practiced it, just like the sunflower treasure. Wasn't this nonsense? And Yuan Shan and Su Qian had mentioned before that men could practice, but their achievements were not high. It was not that they could not practice. There were also people who said that the power of the moon required a unique bloodline. As for information related to the two leaves, there was not a single one. Forget it, the keyboard warriors on the internet were better than the other. It was all their speculation. It was better to keep it and ask Su Qian or Tang Ruoshi. He sat cross-legged to heal his injuries. After a night, his injuries had mostly recovered. In the afternoon, when his injuries had fully recovered, Jiang Chongkong contacted Su Qian. They were still exploring the abyss and had asked for help from Budokai. Both Budokai had accepted the mission. Since Jiang Chongkong was not around, they could only look for them. This time, Ndingbang personally took action, and it was in the swamp area. Jiang Chongkong immediately rushed over. Now he could not wait to forge the moon sword. After opening the location sharing, Jiang Chongkong went to the research team's location. It was the same location as yesterday. When Jiang Chongkong arrived, the ground was dry and solid, no longer muddy. Ndingbang stepped on the mud, and the earthy yellow light spread around, solidifying the swamp. The earth element technique was indeed suitable for him. Su Qian and the others were exploring nearby. Each of them was followed by a hidden star-level warrior. When Jiang Chongkong arrived, Ndingbang noticed it immediately. His expression was gloomy. "It's you again." After that, the earthy yellow light shrank, and the place where Jiang Chongkong stepped turned into mud. Starlight flickered under his feet, and a strong suction force came, trying to pull him down. Two scorching suns appeared under Jiang Chongkong's feet. The mud was dry and solid, and with each step, a scorching sun appeared. Ndingbang's pupils shrank, and he could not help but take 2 steps back. "Let me tell you, this is a mission. You can't make a move for no reason. Didn't you say that yesterday was because of the weapon? I won't be using any weapons today," Jiang Chongkong said calmly as he walked towards Ndingbang. Ndingbang's expression changed slightly. "I'm doing a quest right now. I don't have time to fight you." Jiang Chongkong sneered, came to his side, and directly took his space equipment in his hand. What do you want to do?" Ndingbang shouted, but he did not dare to resist. "A dignified guild leader doesn't bring star stones with him?" Jiang Chongkong scoffed and returned the space teleportation equipment to him. "You haven't called Li Changtian yet?" Ndingbang's face twitched. Wait for a few days. Don't be so smug. Young Master Li is a genius from a major province. His strength is terrifying." Jiang Chongkong sneered. "Terrifying to the middle stage of the star realm?" Ndingbang's face didn't turn red at all. Instead, he said with a hint of disdain, "What do you know? The strongest genius in a large province is his guardian. Young Master Li is still young. He's only 20 years old. He'll be terrifying in the future." Jiang Chongkong chuckled and didn't say anything else. Li Changtian's guardian seemed to be at the late stage of the star realm. Could it be that he had changed? It shouldn't be. He wasn't valued in the first place. He didn't do much in the Twisted Land. He shouldn't be valued suddenly. Forget it. As long as Ndingbang could call Li Changtian over, it would be fine. Chongkong. Su Qian walked over and wiped her sweat. "Don't bully President An anymore." "I'm not bullying him. I'm just giving him a chance to challenge me again." Jiang Chongkong chuckled and said, "I've got the materials for the weapons. I want to return to Ping An City." "You got them? So fast?" Su Qian said in surprise. Jiang Chongkong flipped his hand and took out a stone stool. "This should be enough. Forge a sword and a saber. When the stone stool was taken out, the silver-white moonlight shone in all directions. The power of the moon? And Ding Bong's expression changed, and he couldn't help but take a step back. The power of the moon contained in the stone stool was too terrifying. Even an early-stage star spirit like him didn't dare to approach it easily. Su Qian's pretty face changed. Quickly put it away. Jiang Chongkong took back the stone stool. It should be enough, right? Definitely enough. Did you go to the cold pool last night? Su Qian asked. How could I go down? Jiang Chongkong shook his head. My friend went down to get it himself. Your friend can take things out of this cold pool. I'm afraid his strength is no weaker than the Xi family's little genius. Su Qian was shocked. The Xi family of lunar sect. Could it be that your friend is from the Xi family? Ding Bang asked cautiously. I don't think so. My friend is a man, but I've never seen his face. Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. A man? You've never seen his face, and he's also a friend? How can you tell if he's a man? There are many ways to disguise himself. How can you tell if he's a man without seeing his face? Ding Bang frowned. What you said makes sense, but I'm too lazy to refute you. Jiang Chongkong rolled his eyes and said, He's half a friend. I owe him a favor. All right, we'll go back tomorrow. Su Qian said. By the way, is Sister Ruashi done with her work? Jiang Chongkong asked. I don't know. She should be done. Su Qian said uncertainly. You can ask her. I'll go get busy. Jiang Chongkong took out his phone and replied to Tang Ruashi's message. Ding Bang walked over cautiously. Chang Kaisheng, I think there's some misunderstanding between us. Jiang Chongkong was stunned and looked at him in shock. What misunderstanding? I was wrong before. I actually fought with you. I really shouldn't have. Ding Bang said apologetically. Jiang Chongkong was dumbfounded. Is there something wrong with your brain? Ding Bang hesitated and asked in a low voice. What are the characteristics of your friend? What's his name? Jiang Chongkong understood a little. He was worried that his other identity was related to the Feng family. The power of the lunar star had been cultivated to this level. It was very likely that he was from the Feng family. Although Jiang Chongkong denied it, what if? This snobbish guy would not let go of even the slightest opportunity. There are no characteristics. He's really a man. He's not from the Feng family. Jiang Chongkong said lightly. He was too lazy to lie to him. What about his martial arts moves? Ding Bang still did not give up. I only know that his body movement is called Moonlight. He cultivates both swords and sabers. His names are Moonlight, Moonshadow, and Moonhaze. Jiang Chongkong said lightly. I've never seen him use them. He just told me. Chang Kaisheng, we should get to know each other. I suddenly remembered that there are 2 star stones here. Ding Bang took out 2 star stones from somewhere and handed them to him. He looked very excited. Middle grade rank 5. Jiang Chongkong was a little confused. There was such a good thing? The Feng family of the big province also cultivated the cold moon art? Didn't the cold moon art just come out? Or did the Feng family also have one? It was not impossible. Back in the Twisted Land, someone said that the Fat Man's Nan family started with a star steel. It was also possible that the Feng family had a lunar star steel. Maybe the cold moon art was recorded on it. Thinking of this, he said, Why? Is this martial art very famous? Or is it exclusive to the Feng family? Of course it's not exclusive. Many forces have this sword and saber cultivation technique when the news spread. But this moonlight flowing light has always been a unique technique of the Xi family. Ding Bang said excitedly, Brother Jiang, we're going to be rich. Wait, we're going to be rich? What does this have to do with you? Since when are we brothers? Chapter 159. Ding Bang shoved another 2 star stones into his hands. This time, they were star stones of the 5th level. Don't be so polite. Jiang Chongkong couldn't stand his enthusiasm. Take it. You must take it. If you don't, you'll be looking down on me, Undingbang said excitedly. Jiang Chongkong, I've met a real snobbish person. You're throwing star stones at me just because you suspect me? If my disguise really belongs to the Ho family, you'll sell yourself to me. These guys just want to curry favor and join the forces of the big provinces. Jiang Chongkong pondered for a moment. This time, when the starlight was distorted, the star steel appeared. Will the martial arts recorded on it be moonlight? My friend might have cultivated the martial arts on the star steel. When we first met, he didn't show the power of the moon. I heard from Li Changtian that the star steel has been translated. All the big forces have it. There is indeed a martial art called moonlight, but without many years of cultivation and practice, how can he have the ability to obtain treasures from the cold pool? And Dingbang looked like a wise man who had seen through everything. He said with certainty, "Your friend is definitely from the Ho family of Moon." Jiang Chongkong was dumbfounded. This fella's imagination was a little scary. Not only did he imagine the Ho family of Moon, but he also made up a story about a genius's adventure. A genius of the Ho family of Moon wanted to adventure alone, without relying on the power of his family. He traveled far away from Jianghai province step by step. In order not to expose his identity, he didn't even use the power of the moon. Until now, when he came to the peace city of Tranquility province, he needed weapons and had no choice but to show his strength. What the hell? Jiang Chongkong could only look at him in admiration. He was thinking too much. Not relying on the power of his family? Did he think this was a TV series? If he had a super force and had an endless supply of star stones, he would definitely not go out. Only an idiot would give up the resources and treasures and go out to fool around. Ding dong. His phone rang. Tang Ruashi replied, "I just finished. How are you in the abyss?" Jiang Chongkong picked up his phone and walked to the side. "I have something to do." He couldn't be bothered to deal with this guy because this guy wasn't going to give him any more star stones. Go ahead, go ahead." And Dingbong's rough old face was filled with a flattering smile. "Not bad. Do you have time now?" Jiang Chongkong asked. "Yes, do you want to come to the research institute?" Tang Ruashi asked. Jiang Chongkong walked to the side and left the crowd. He took out 2 leaves and said, "Can you help me take a look at this?" These 2 leaves could sense the tip of the sword. They were definitely rare treasures. "Wait, let me check." Tang Ruashi replied and started investigating. Jiang Chongkong waited patiently. After half an hour, Tang Ruashi replied, "Chongkong, you are going to reach the pinnacle of your life." What kind of incredible treasure is this? Jiang Chongkong's heart stirred with anticipation. Do you know anything about myths and legends? There's a laurel tree on the lunar star. Are you saying these are the leaves of the laurel tree? Jiang Chongkong was a bit surprised. If they contain the lunar cold chi, then that's right. Moreover, if the star power in your bay leaf can threaten the star spirit, I'm afraid that the star spirit won't be able to survive. The Tai In Ho family will buy it from you in the name of a lord. Tang Ruashi replied, "But did you pierce the holes on the leaves?" "No, they were there when I got them. I only know that they are related to swords," Jiang Chongkong said. "Related to swords? Is it a sword tassel?" In ancient times, people would decorate the hilt of swords with something. The lunar magi like to decorate their swords with lunar star power. And the Yu Gai is the favorite decoration of the lunar magi. But it's very rare. Only the most talented people can have it. Tang Ruashi sent a lot of messages. Jiang Chongkong looked at the leaves and thought of the sword tip. When the sword tip was complete, were these 2 leaves decorating the hilt. The cold chi in these 2 leaves was very terrifying. Even he didn't dare to use it carelessly. Of course, if he switched to the lunar star power, there wouldn't be too much of a problem. Selling such a good thing to the Feng family? Forget it. He didn't even ask for a favor from the Nan family, let alone the Feng family. These 2 leaves and the sword tip were very important to him. He wouldn't exchange them for star stones. I'll come over now to make weapons, Jiang Chongkong said. Okay, Professor Yun has time now. He'll go to build a stronghold in a few days. He won't have time to make weapons, Tang Ruoxi said. Jiang Chongkong went to find Su Qian. I'll go back to Ping'an City first. My friend is in urgent need of weapons. I don't want to delay. Okay, I'll go back with you. Su Qian put down the work in her hand and said, President N, I'll have to trouble you here. No trouble, no trouble. This is what I should do, and Dingbang said quickly. Jiang Chongkong left with Su Qian and returned to Ping'an City. For such a good thing, it was better to make weapons first and improve his strength. He believed that with the stone bench, the 2 leaves, and the sword tip, the weapon he made would definitely not be weaker than the top 6th grade weapons. Back at the Research Institute, the two went to the lounge, where Tang Ruoxi and Professor Yun were. I heard from Ruoxi that you've gathered all the materials for the weapon? Professor Yun said in surprise. Yes, here. Jiang Chongkong took out the stone bench. A knife and a sword. The sword doesn't need the sword tip. Such a large piece of lunar stone. Although it's not a pure lunar stone, it's still a high-grade material. Professor Yun said in surprise. But you don't need the sword tip? Yes, I've already prepared the sword tip. Jiang Chongkong took out the sword tip. This sword tip is extremely hard and hard to destroy. It's extremely sharp. I'll use it. In this case, it's equivalent to piecing together the materials. It will affect the quality of the weapon. No matter how good your sword tip is, can it compare to high-grade materials? Professor Yun frowned slightly and continued, If there are more materials, I can even make you a high-grade weapon. No need for high-grade materials. My friend needs a knife and a sword, Jiang Chongkong said. Okay, this piece of lunar stone is not enough to make a high-grade weapon. 2 top 6th grade weapons are more than enough. Professor Yun said. After a pause, he said, I heard that you also have Yugai. I have 2 pieces. I'll have to trouble Professor Yun to decorate the knife and sword, Jiang Chongkong said. Well, okay. Professor Yun nodded and said with some surprise, It seems that I have to re-evaluate you. Such a large lunar stone and 2 pieces of Yugai. Is your friend from the Feng family? No, Ruoxi knows. Jiang Chongkong said lightly. I know? Tang Ruoxi was slightly stunned and a little confused. Killing people without getting hurt. It's him? He also came to Ping'an City? Tang Ruoxi was shocked. Ruoxi knows him too? Who is he? Su Qian asked curiously. Tang Ruoxi shook her head and said, I don't know. When he first appeared in Jiang City, he was always in black and never showed his face. His swordsmanship is very strong and strange. He killed people without getting hurt, and he never revealed the attribute of star power. It sounds very mysterious, Su Qian whispered. Okay, let's make the weapon. Professor Yun interrupted their conversation. Xiao Qian, Ruoxi, take the materials and go to the basement. Okay. Su Qian quickly took out the metal gloves and moved the lunar stone stool. Tang Ruoxi was about to take the tip of the sword, but Jiang Chongkong stopped her. I'll take the tip of the sword down. I don't want it to hurt you. The tip of the sword was so sharp that even his diamond body could easily tear it apart. If Tang Ruoxi didn't know, it was very likely that she would cut off her hand. Is it that powerful? Tang Ruoxi was a little skeptical. It's okay if the gloves are broken, right? Jiang Chongkong asked. Tang Ruoxi took off the gloves and handed them to him. It's okay. There are many in the Research Institute. Jiang Chongkong took a glove. The material of the glove was good, and it was harder than his diamond body. The tip of the sword cut through the glove without the slightest sound, and there was no obstruction. The glove was directly broken. So sharp? Tang Ruoxi exclaimed. Professor Yun and Su Qian were also shocked. Their gloves were hard to destroy even with a 6th grade weapon. But now it was easily destroyed by the tip of the sword. Professor Yun pointed at the lunar stone. Can you cut this stone? I can try. Jiang Chongkong held the tip of the sword and easily cut the lunar stone. Like a sharp knife cutting tofu, a small piece was easily cut off. Where did you get the tip of the sword? Professor Yun looked at the tip of the sword in surprise. It was a high-grade weapon, definitely a high-grade weapon, and it was not ordinary. If it was a normal high-grade weapon, with only the broken tip of the sword, it would not be able to cut the lunar stone so easily. Chapter 160. In response to Professor Yun's question, Jiang Chongkong shook his head and pushed the blame to the other party. I don't know. That man took it out, Jiang Chongkong said. Professor Yun stopped asking and looked at the incision carefully. It was smooth and flat. I'm afraid this stone is not worthy of the tip of the sword. Professor Yun shook his head and did not say anything else. He led them into the basement. The quality of the tip of the sword was much higher than that of the lunar stone. Su Qian and Tang Ruoxi were confused. A piece of high-level material was easily cut off. And he didn't even use astral power. It was hard for them to imagine what kind of weapon and master could break such a sword. There were all kinds of equipment in the basement. Jiang Chongkong only knew a computer and had never seen the rest. Your tip of the sword can save a lot of time. Professor Yun smiled and said, I'll have to trouble you to cut the lunar stone into pieces. Jiang Chongkong nodded and cut the lunar stone with the tip of the sword. The equipment in the research institute could also cut the lunar stone, but it was too laborious and not as fast as the tip of the sword. After cutting the lunar stone, Professor Yun stopped in front of a huge crystal screen. The screen lit up and thousands of stars appeared, dancing on the screen. Su Qian stood aside and opened an instrument. A drawer popped out from the instrument. Professor Yun said, Put the lunar stone in. Jiang Chongkong threw the lunar stone into the drawer, and the stars on the screen jumped and automatically assembled into different styles of sword. Choose a style. Professor Yun said. Well, if it's a sword, the usual one will do. If it's a knife, I'll choose this one. Jiang Chongkong took out his weapon and said. Professor Yun nodded and left a knife and a sword on the screen. He walked to the instrument and pressed a button. Okay, wait. That's it? Jiang Chongkong was confused. Yes, but the temperature needs to be adjusted. I'll keep an eye on it for about 2 days. Professor Yun said. Jiang Chongkong. Suddenly, he felt that he could join the research institute. As long as he knew how to use these instruments, wouldn't it be too convenient to forge weapons? What? Do you think I'll swing a big hammer like in ancient times? Professor Yun chuckled. No, it's the first time I've seen him. I'm really surprised, Jiang Chongkong said. If you want to learn, you can ask Ruoxi. Professor Yun smiled and said, All right, you guys go rest. I'll stay here and keep an eye on things. Where's you guy? Jiang Chongkong asked again. When the weapon is forged, we can decorate it, Professor Yun said lightly. You should worry about yourself first. The Lin family and the Jean family have come to me. The Lin family and the Jean family? Jiang Chongkong frowned and said, I'm sorry to cause trouble for Professor Yun. If the institute is implicated, I'm deeply sorry. They won't implicate us. They just want to ask me about your news and strength. Professor Yun said with a hint of arrogance, These two families won't dare to do anything to my institute. Chongkong, let's go. Let's not disturb the professor. Ruoxi pulled him away and Su Qian followed. The three of them went out of the basement and drank tea upstairs. Tang Ruoxi took out her mobile phone and said, This is the information of the two families. Take a look. Jiang Chongkong took the mobile phone and checked it. The Lin family had a star spirit master, a mid-stage star spirit. The Jean family's strongest was Jean Feng's father, who was at the peak of star treasury. These two families didn't seem to be a threat. But the Jean family also had a relationship with Xingjin Company in De Province, which was also a big force. It's okay, as long as it doesn't affect you, Jiang Chongkong said as he looked. Both of these families were in Gu'an City, the provincial capital of Ding Province. The Jean family was nothing in Gu'an City, but the Lin family had some power. Tang Ruoshi and Su Qian looked calm and didn't worry. These two families didn't dare to do anything to the institute. Moreover, Jiang Chongkong was not a member of the institute. Even if he was friends with Tang Ruoshi, he didn't dare to implicate them. By the way, there is a Chu family in Gangshui Castle. Because they committed too many crimes, they were annihilated by the commander of Gangshui Castle. Jiang Chongkong thought of this and said, "The eldest son of the Chu family, Chu Yunlong, is said to be in Ding province. I'll keep an eye out for you," Tang Ruoshi said. "Thank you." Jiang Chongkong thanked her and returned the mobile phone to her. The three of them chatted for a while. It was already dark. They had dinner in the institute's cafeteria and went back to their rooms to rest. On the third day, Jiang Chongkong didn't go to the abyss. Yu Gai was still with him. He planned to go to the abyss after the weapon was built. Anyway, the abyss mission wasn't urgent. The mine detector hadn't been built yet, and Professor Yun wouldn't go to the abyss. On the other side, Dingbang also left the abyss. When he returned to Ping'an City, he took out his mobile phone and made a call. Dingbang. An impatient voice was heard. "Why are you calling me when you can't handle such a small matter?" "Young Master Li, listen to me first," Dingbang hurriedly said. "It's a big deal this time. It may be related to the Moon Gui family." Li Changtian's interest was piqued. "Huh? Moon Gui family? What's the matter?" "I met a cultivator of the moon star power here. He's very powerful. He just took out a large piece of moon star stone from the frozen lake. Besides, he wants to build a weapon, a knife and a sword. He also knows the unique technique of the Gui family, moonlight flowing." Dingbang whispered. "He went to the frozen lake to take out the moon star stone? He knows how to build a weapon and knows moonlight flowing?" Li Changtian's voice became heavy. "The star steel has just been deciphered. Moonlight flowing is no longer unique to the Gui family, but it only records that it's mid-tier. To be able to take out a treasure from the frozen lake, he should be in the star spirit state. His moonlight flowing should be mid-tier, high-tier." "Yes," Dingbang said excitedly. "Young Master Li, it's very likely that he's from the Gui family. Why don't we build a good relationship with him? You're the only one I've informed." There was a new big shot, but they didn't forget the old one. Of course, the more important reason was that Li Changtian was also a big shot. Li Changtian didn't want to use him after he messed up the star-guiding stone last time. Sometimes he wouldn't even pick up his phone. He shouted in front of Jiang Chongkong because he wanted to save his life. As for asking Li Changtian to come out, he wouldn't have been able to do so without this information. "Have you seen that person? Do you know his name and characteristics?" Li Changtian asked. "I haven't. It was Chang Kaisheng who stole the star-guiding stone who told me," Dingbang said awkwardly. "Actually, I'm not very sure." "Stole the star-guiding stone? Chang Kaisheng? Which Chang Kaisheng?" Li Changtian's heart skipped a beat as he asked. He knew many martial artists with the surname Jiang, but there was only one person who left a deep impression on him, the president of Budokai. Jiang Chongkong. Jiang Chongkong from that small place in Jianghai province, Dingbang said. Li Changtian. Sure enough, this guy couldn't live in peace wherever he went. But how did he hook up with the Gui family? Could it be that Nan Tianwang and Yao Meng introduced him? That made sense. Many people knew that the moonstone was a gift from Nan Tianwang to the little heavenly son of the Gui family. But where did the moonstone come from? Jiang Chongkong helped him get it. That little heavenly son secretly went to find Jiang Chongkong after hearing the news? Or did he go to the cold pond to get the treasure and coincidentally meet him? That couldn't be right. He had been in contact with the Gui family recently, but he didn't hear that the little heavenly son had gone to Ping'an City. He had to ask about this. Chapter 161. 2 days passed quickly, and only Yu Gai was left to decorate the Tai Yin sword. The silver-white sword was shrouded in a hazy moonlight. Jiang Chongkong handed the Yu-Gai to Professor Yun and watched her hang the Yu-Gai. Buzz. 2 pieces of Yu-Gai were decorated on the sword. The sword trembled slightly and the moonlight shone brightly. The silver moonlight shone like 2 moons, illuminating the entire basement. This Yu-Gai is really compatible with this sword, Professor Yun exclaimed. It was originally a top-tier 6th-grade weapon. Now it is definitely the best. With the blessing of Yu-Gai, plus the original materials used to make it, it could be regarded as a high-grade material. The quality of this Tai-Yin sword had surpassed his long sword. Moreover, his long sword could only be regarded as an ordinary top-tier 6th-grade weapon. It had no attribute. This Tai-Yin sword had a strong amplification effect on martial artists with the power of the Tai-Yin star. You have to pay attention to this sword. You can't measure it as a mid-grade weapon, nor as a high-grade weapon. Professor Yun pointed to the Tai-Yin sword and said, "Moreover, I found that the tip of this sword contains a terrifying power of the Tai-Yin star. Even a top-tier star spirit would find it difficult to control. Tell your friend to be careful when using it." "Well, thank you, Professor Yun." Jiang Chongkong put away the sword and said, "Now that I have the weapon, I will go to the abyss first to help the Research Institute establish a stronghold. You also pay attention, the star spirit of the Lin family is here," Professor Yun said. "Thank you." Jiang Chongkong thanked him and left the basement. This time, it was Su Qian's turn to do research, and Tang Ruoshi followed him to the abyss. The 2 quickly rushed to the abyss. Tang Ruoshi said, "How strong is that person? Is he really not a member of the Feng family? I can't see through that person's strength. He should be above me." Jiang Chongkong thought about it and said, "I can confirm that he is not a member of the Si family. I will ask about the specifics." "Don't ask. Since you don't want to talk about it, don't ask. After all, our relationship isn't that good," Tang Ruoshi advised. Jiang Chongkong had already said that the other party was stronger than him. If he were to pursue the matter and anger the other party, that would not be good. The 2 of them arrived at the abyss. Without stopping, they headed straight for the research center. Today, Yun Qing and the other 4 were all present. They did not have any missions. Chongkong is here. Ruoshi's assistant is here too. Yun Qing and the other 4 quickly greeted them. "Don't the 5 of you have any tasks today?" Jiang Chongkong asked. "How can there be no mission? It's just that it's too dangerous. You and President An aren't here, so we can only rest," Yun Qing explained. As he spoke, he took out a few star stones. "Here, your star stones." "Thank you." Jiang Chongkong accepted the star stone and said, "How about this? I'll go out for about an hour. When I come back, we'll go do the mission together." "Okay. Thank you, Chongkong," the 5 quickly said. "Do you want me to go with you?" Tang Ruoshi asked. "No need. He's very strange. He only wants to see me." Jiang Chongkong waved his hand and left quickly. After leaving the outpost, Jiang Chongkong made sure that there was no one around and took out the moon saber and sword. The moon astral power in his body circulated, and a terrifying cold qi spread out, forming a crescent moon above his head. 2 streams of cold qi surged out of the moon saber and sword and entered his body, strengthening his moon astral power. "With this saber and sword in hand, my strength has increased. I wonder how strong the Taiji diagram of the moon and sun is. Moreover, the tip of the sword has absorbed astral power from the moon lake. The Yu-Gai also contains a terrifying power. If I use it, it will be a powerful killing move. I wonder how powerful it will be." Jiang Chongkong pondered. The Taiji diagram of the moon and the sun was not suitable to be used openly, and he could not use the tip of the sword and the Yu-Gai easily. Professor Yun had said that even the peak astral spirits could not control it. It was obvious how powerful it was. He could give it a try when he had the chance. "I have the weapon. Next, it's the star stones." After familiarizing himself with the saber and sword, Jiang Chongkong returned to the outpost. Tang Ruashi and the others were sitting outside the stone house, discussing the matter of the outpost. I'm back. When are we leaving? Jiang Chongkong walked to the side of the 6 people. Let's go now. They quickly got up and said, We're going to the gravity zone this time. Jiang Chongkong said confidently, You can go anywhere. As long as there are no astral spirits that are too strong, I can protect you. They packed up, changed into a pair of black boots, and moved quickly. Your equipment is really good, Jiang Chongkong said. Their speed was comparable to that of an early-stage astral spirit. This thing belongs to the Research Institute, not us. It's very expensive to buy. President and has a pair. Yun Qing explained. And Ding Bang? No wonder he could get there so quickly when the star-guiding stone was needed. Is your research institute making a lot of money? Jiang Chongkong asked. It's not just our research institute that makes money. All research institutes make money, Yun Qing explained. The research institute is supported by the Federation, and we can also take on business and sell things. Tang Ruashi said softly. Just like the weapon you made this time, you usually charge hundreds of thousands of star dollars as a handling fee. Jiang Chongkong. Hundreds of thousands of star dollars as a handling fee? Your ability to make money is really terrifying. As they spoke, they had already reached the gravity zone. Tang Ruashi and the others took off their boots and stepped into the gravity zone. With 3 times the gravity, Tang Ruashi bent her body and instinctively grabbed Jiang Chongkong. The others were much better. They only felt a little uncomfortable, but they soon got used to it. Assistant Ruashi hasn't been in Peace City for long. She's not used to it, Yun Qing said. It's okay. Just use your astral power. Jiang Chongkong raised his hand and a Tai Chi diagram protected Tang Ruashi. With the protection of the Tai Chi soil, the pressure immediately dissipated. Tang Ruashi couldn't help but gasp. Thank you, thank you. Didn't you bring any anti-gravity equipment? Jiang Chongkong asked. Normally, the Research Institute doesn't do this because the martial artists in Peace City are used to the gravity zone. Yun Qing shook his head. Jiang Chongkong didn't say anything else and led them forward. They walked for a few minutes, but they didn't see anyone from Budokai this time. Roar. A low roar was heard. A star demon with a yellow aura crawled over. Starship level. Jiang Chongkong glanced at it and waved his hand. A blade aura flashed and the star demon turned into a corpse. The star stone flew out. Sister Ruashi, it's yours. Tang Ruashi didn't refuse. The star stone was useless to Jiang Chongkong, but it was useful to her. Yun Qing stopped and said, Let's do it here. Jiang Chongkong didn't care. Tang Ruashi and the others went to collect the soil and plants nearby to explore the environment. They found a place to sit down. Seeing them busy, Jiang Chongkong wondered if he should rush in and kill them, but he thought it would be better to wait until the night. Not to mention the mission, he still needed the help of the Research Institute to process the star stones. If he helped them with the mission, then he could kill them and handle the star stones for free. He still needed a city. If he had a city, he could give them a piece of land and cooperate with the martial arts school. He could go anywhere for free. Half an hour later. Rumble. The ground suddenly shook. Roars were heard, shaking the earth. Weeds swayed, sand flew, smoke billowed in the distance, and the roars of beasts shook the sky. Jiang Chongkong's eyes opened and closed. There was a strange look in them. What happened? The expressions of Tang Ruashi and the others changed. They hurried to Jiang Chongkong's side. A group of star demon is chasing after the people from Budokai. Jiang Chongkong said calmly, The strongest star demon is only a star treasury. Tang Ruashi heaved a sigh of relief and said, Let's open the protective shield. I'll leave the rest to you. Yun Qing and the others said worriedly, Assistant Ruashi, let's leave first. There's a group of them. We can't leave. They're here, Jiang Chongkong said calmly. As soon as he finished speaking, 6 figures ran over in a panic. Their faces were full of fear, and they hated that they didn't have more legs. Behind them was a group of star demon chasing after them. People from the research institute? Go, all of you, go. The 6 of them were almost roaring this sentence. However, they were only 100 meters away. This distance was not even enough for them to put on their boot. Tang Ruoshi was about to take out her protective shield when Jiang Chongkong stood with his hands behind his back. A black and white Tai Chi symbol appeared and spread rapidly. Boom! The Tai Chi symbol spread out and enveloped the 6 of them, but they were not hurt at all. On the other hand, the star demon behind them rushed toward the star demon beside them. Their sharp claws and teeth fell as they fought. This is... Yun Qing and the others were shocked. Even Tang Ruoshi was shocked. It's just a martial art. It's not worth mentioning. Continue. Jiang Chongkong smiled calmly. The Tai Chi symbol spread. The star demon was either fighting or committing suicide. It could not get close to them. The 6 of them were stunned. Continue working? Alright, this was the first time they worked in the star demon group. They could also watch the star demon commit suicide and kill each other. The 6 Budokai members looked back and then at Jiang Chongkong. Their faces were full of fear. Chapter 162. Tang Ruoshi was very calm. What Chongkong is best at is group battles. When he was in the nebula, he could kill in and out of the star demon group. Now that he was at the astral soul level, it was naturally easier to face the strongest star demon. Thank you, Chang Kaisheng. The 6 Budokai members thanked him respectfully. You're welcome. Martial artists should help each other, Jiang Chongkong said. Yun Qing and the other 4 smiled. With Chongkong here, we can rest assured. Jiang Chongkong didn't say anything else. The black and white Tai Chi diagram passed through, and the star demon fell one after another. Yun Qing and the others continued their own research. The 6 Budokai members didn't know what to do, so they stood on the side. A martial artist glanced at the star demon group and said, "If this goes on, I'm afraid more star demon will be attracted." Yes, so you have to speed up your research, Jiang Chongkong said with a smile. Yun Qing said seriously, "We'll collect more samples in an hour and bring them back for research." Jiang Chongkong nodded and looked at the 6 martial artists. Are you familiar with this place? Of course. We spend most of our time cultivating here, the 6 martial artists said. How strong is the star demon here? Are there late-stage and peak astral souls? There are a few, but they are mostly in the depth. Occasionally they will come here. It's hard to say. Jiang Chongkong fell silent. It wouldn't work to kill the star demon here. The lunar lake at the bottom of the lunar lake was so dangerous that it was enough to kill him. There were late-stage and peak astral souls here. It wouldn't work to kill them and get star stones. He had to think of other ways to get a large amount of essence chi. After thinking for a long time, he asked, "Where's your president?" The 6. What do you want? You want to steal our president again? That's enough. In the swamp area, Jiang Chongkong directly searched Ndingbang's space equipment, and now the news had spread all over Budokai. Now that Jiang Chongkong asked about Ndingbang's whereabouts, they couldn't help but suspect that he wanted to rob them again. In any case, he was the guild leader of Budokai and a star soul expert. Could he at least give him some face? Seeing that the 6 of them were silent, Jiang Chongkong waved his hand disinterestedly. Alright, you guys can leave. Thank you, Chang Kaisheng, for your help this time. Farewell. The 6 of them cupped their hands and turned to leave. The star demon fell. Blood flowed everywhere. In just a few short minutes, only a few of the star demons were still alive. Jiang Chongkong flicked his finger, and a blade light burst forth, reaping the star demon's life. Among the star stones that were dug out, there were only a dozen star-level ones, 30 star-level ones, and more than 100 star-level ones. He dug out all the star sea stones. He gave half to Tang Ruoshi and the other half to Yun Qing and the others. You're so generous. We're all embarrassed. Yun Qing accepted the star stones, a trace of unnaturalness on his face. We asked for your help. Give us back the star stones. Just give me the star stones for free in the future. Jiang Chongkong chuckled. That's not a problem. The star stones you gave us are more than the processing fee. Yun Qing and the others laughed. Jiang Chongkong smiled. Without essence, qi, and spirit, it was worthless. Would other places charge a third-grade processing fee for processing sixth-grade star stones? They would definitely find a way to steal a sixth-grade star stone. The smell of blood filled the air. Not long after, another group of star demons arrived. Jiang Chongkong used the Tai Chi diagram and the Yuling art to kill them. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. An hour was almost up. Jiang Chongkong's harvest was not small. Brother Chongkong, I heard that you missed me. And Dingbang's voice traveled over. His burly body was extremely fast. Jiang Chongkong was slightly stunned. I just casually asked a question, and you're already here? I didn't miss you at all, Jiang Chongkong said with a dark expression. You must have missed me. And Dingbang said with a face full of certainty, I know, you specifically asked me. Jiang Chongkong, you're so shameless. No wonder you can become the president. Brother Chongkong, I picked up the 100 star stones you dropped on the way here. And Dingbang took out a backpack and handed it to him. Jiang Chongkong. Suddenly, he felt that being a president was really unfair to him. Jiang Chongkong accepted it without hesitation. 100 mid-grade 5th-grade star stones was equivalent to 20,000 essence, energy, and spirit. I couldn't tell that you're quite rich, Jiang Chongkong said with a smile. Ahem, it's just that my brothers support me. And Dingbang smiled. He paused and said, I wonder if I have a chance to meet that friend? So that's why. He came for his avatar. I was wondering why he was suddenly so generous. Well, he doesn't like to meet strangers, Jiang Chongkong said with a troubled expression. He doesn't even want to meet Sister Ruashi. And Dingbang gritted his teeth and said, I'm just making an appointment on behalf of him. If possible, I'll offer another 100 star stones. Don't mention mid-grade. The lowest is high-grade 5th grade. I'll reluctantly talk to him, Jiang Chongkong said. And Dingbang thought about it and said, sure. When do you want to meet him? Jiang Chongkong asked. As soon as possible, and Dingbang said. Let's do it tonight. If he wants to meet me, let's meet tonight. If not, forget it, Jiang Chongkong said. Thank you, and Dingbang said with a sigh of relief. Jiang Chongkong was about to speak when his cell phone rang. It was a strange number. Hello, who's this? Chang Kaisheng, Lin Yunwang of the Lin family. Do you remember the disciple of the Lin family who died tragically in your hands? The old and gloomy voice was full of killing intent. Lin Jie is not as good as you. Is the Lin family trying to stand up for him? Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. It's fine that Lin Jie was not as good as you. But why did you kill the Lin family's disciple who visited the Chu family? Lin Yunwang said coldly. You conspired to murder me and colluded with the Chu family. You deserved to die. Are you satisfied with this answer? Jiang Chongkong said coldly. Deserved to die. You're trying to kill me on the charge of colluding with the Chu family. That's a good move. If I don't do anything, people will think that the Lin family is easy to bully, Lin Yunwang said coldly. I'm not in the mood if you're here to talk nonsense, Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. Lin Yunwang said coldly, don't you like star stones? I have 1,000 upper 5th grade star stones here. Do you dare to compete with me? Oh? Does the Lin family intend to invite a late-stage star spirit or a peak star spirit to fight? Jiang Chongkong sneered. I'll do it myself, Lin Yunwang said coldly. Time and place. Jiang Chongkong agreed without hesitation. You want to do it yourself? Then I won't hold back. You're just a mid-stage star spirit, so I'm confident in defeating you. Back when he was at the peak of Stargate, he killed Lin Jie. Now that he had perfected 3 martial arts and cultivated the cold moon art, he had no reason to be afraid. He had no reason to be afraid of a mid-stage star spirit like Lin Yunwang. 3 days from now, outside Peace City. I'll let the world witness it. I'll keep you company. Jiang Chongkong hung up the phone. He was just worrying about how to get his hands on star stones when someone came knocking on his door. 1,000 upper 5th grade star stones was equivalent to 300,000 star stones. It wasn't a lot, but it wasn't a small amount either. It was worth the risk. And Dingbang rolled his eyes and said, "You want to fight Lin Yunwang?" "Yes." "What are you trying to say?" Jiang Chongkong frowned slightly. "Nothing. You just have to be careful. That old man is a sinister person," and Dingbang said in a low voice. "I'll be careful. It's time to go, everyone." Jiang Chongkong had just finished speaking when his eyes suddenly narrowed. Chapter 163. What's wrong? And Dingbang saw that his expression was not right and asked. Tang Ruoshi and the others were also confused. There were still a few minutes until the hour. "Let's go." Jiang Chongkong didn't explain. The Tai Chi art shrunk and wrapped around the 7 of them. He grabbed an Dingbang and flew away. Buzz. At the same time, multicolored light shone brilliantly, covering the void. A blade light condensed and rushed forward. Roar. An earth-shattering roar was heard and a terrifying astral power exploded. A majestic power caused the sand and dust around to fly and a storm was formed. Late-stage astral spirit? And Dingbang took a deep breath and said in shock. Just then, the blade aura fell and a ray of light exploded. Rumble. A strong explosion was heard and a terrifying wave of power shattered the blade aura. The star demon's movement also paused. Jiang Chongkong's expression was solemn. He had used 90% of his strength in that attack. Unfortunately, it had only made the star demon pause for a moment. But it was enough. That was enough for them to escape the gravity zone. Late-stage astral spirit. Terrifying strength. Jiang Chongkong sighed. He finally knew the difference between them. Even if the star demon didn't kill him, it wouldn't be a problem. His old method of killing the star demon wouldn't work for the time being. Unless he could step into the astral spirit level. That's not bad. You don't know the difference between astral spirits and high-level martial artists. A trace of fear flashed in Dingbang's eyes. Have you seen high-level martial artists fight? Jiang Chongkong asked. I've seen a video. He killed several peak astral spirit star demon with one finger. And Dingbang's eyes were filled with shock. When I see young Lord Li, I can ask him to show you the video. Li Changtian? He showed it to you? He didn't mean to scare you, did he? The group stepped out of the gravity zone and left quickly without stopping. Luckily, the star demon didn't chase after them. Jiang Chongkong looked back. The star demon was eating the body. Back at the stronghold, Jiang Chongkong gave the star stones to them to deal with. They had gotten a good harvest this time. President, and leave me your number. I'm going to see that friend, Jiang Chongkong said. Okay. And Dingbang left his number. Sister Ruoshi, I'm leaving. I might not come back tonight. I'm going to have dinner with that friend, Jiang Chongkong said. Be careful, Tang Ruoshi said with concern. Jiang Chongkong left and arrived at the terrifying cold pond. He changed his clothes and put on a black robe. After waiting for an hour, he took out his phone and called the Dingbang. President, and he has agreed. Tonight at midnight, the pit of horrors. Don't worry, Brother Chongkong. I'll give you the 100 star stones, and Dingbang said happily. After hanging up, he dialed Li Changtian's number. Young Master Li, that person has agreed to meet me at the Lake of Horror at midnight. Good, you did well. From now on, your Budokai will follow me. Li Changtian said with satisfaction. Thank you, young Master Li. I won't let you down, and Dingbang said excitedly. After working for so long, he finally got a promise. In the future, he would have a backer. You know him well. As long as you give him the star stones, he'll do it for you. A young man with silvery white hair sat at the side with a smile on his face. Li Changtian smiled. You haven't experienced the distorted land. Moreover, I don't know him as well as the one from the Alcade Trade Union. I changed his name to Jiang Xingshi. People like him will be happy as long as they have star stones, the silver-haired young man said. But I don't know if he's from the Sea family. Those geniuses haven't come out yet. They're trying their best to improve themselves for the upcoming battle. You'll know when you see him tonight. I believe you'll recognize him, Li Changtian said. The young man nodded. Let's go to the deep abyss. Li Changtian followed the young man to the deep abyss. After the call, Jiang Changkong looked at the time. It was still early to midnight. Then he would find a place to kill some star demon. As long as he changed places in time and was careful, there wouldn't be a problem. Soon, Jiang Changkong found a group of star demon. They were all Stargate and Star Treasury. The blazing sun star power passed through and killed the star demon. He collected the star stones and extracted their essence. He stayed alert at all times. Once a mid-stage star spirit appeared, he would retreat. Although he was confident that he could take down a mid-stage star spirit, it would take some time. It wouldn't be good if a stronger star demon was attracted. He killed until 11:30. He collected some star stones. It was a few thousand points of essence. It was time to keep the appointment. Jiang Changkong went to the scary abyss. There was no one nearby. He sat cross-legged at the edge of the cold abyss and silently circulated the power of the moon star. A few minutes later, he heard footsteps. Two people were rushing over. It was a familiar aura. One of them was Li Changtian. The other one was the power of the moon star. When he opened his eyes, the two had just arrived at the cold abyss. Li Changtian was wearing a black robe and didn't show his face. However, he couldn't mistake his aura for someone else. You're the people I want to meet? Jiang Changkong's voice was low and cold. I'm Li Changtian. This is the young master of the Sea family, Ji Youngsung. He wants to meet you, Li Changtian introduced. Jiang Changkong stood up. What's the matter? To confirm something, Ji Youngsung said, the power of the moon star, you guy. You're too weak, Jiang Changkong said lightly. Ji Youngsung was only a little stronger than Li Changtian. He was in the late stage of the hidden star realm. I wonder what kind of martial arts you practice? What's your identity? Ji Youngsung's expression darkened, but he wasn't angry. His strength as a late-stage hidden star realm was indeed not enough to deal with the person in front of him. Do I have to tell you? Jiang Changkong said coldly. If that's the case, then I'm sorry. Shi Yongxing shouted in a low voice. Suddenly, a set of silver-white battle armor appeared on his body. The dense extreme Yin star energy exploded, and Li Changtian's figure retreated rapidly. Moonlight! With a low shout, moonlight shone down. The moonlight turned into a beam of sword chi and slashed at Jiang Changkong. I've said it before. You're too weak. Jiang Changkong said coldly. Moonlight shone down. The moonlight acted as a saber and flashed past in an instant. Although this armor contained the power of the moon star, it was only an inferior grade 6 stage. The moonlight saber chi destroyed the sword chi and entered the armor. The expression of Ji Youngsung, who was wearing the armor, stiffened, and his body stopped moving. Jiang Changkong turned around and left without hesitation. You! Li Changtian had just spoken when he sensed that something was wrong. Youngsung, how are you? Just as he touched the armor, a wave of moon-cold chi spread out from the armor and instantly froze his arm. Buzz! The armor released intense moonlight and pushed Li Changtian back. Wisps of cold chi flew out and dissipated in the air. A minute later, the armor retracted. Ji Youngsung's face was pale. There was still some ice on his head and clothes. Li Changtian's hand was still stiff. He quickly asked, "What happened? Let's go back and look for Jiang Changkong first." Ji Youngsung's face was pale, and his lips were trembling. What happened? Li Changtian could not help but ask again. He's right. I'm too weak. Ji Young-sung's expression was bitter. That saber strike just now ignored the armor. His moon-cold chi could freeze me. Li Changtian was shocked. Saber chi that ignored armor? Moreover, the power of the moon star could actually freeze Ji Young-sung? The Ji clan was a clan that specialized in the cultivation of the moon star. I can't think of anyone other than the geniuses of the clan who have such attainments. Ji Young-sung said solemnly, I need to look for Jiang Changkong again. I must get to the bottom of this. I'm afraid you'll have to prepare more star stones, Li Changtian said with a sigh. Ji Young-sung was speechless. He had thought that he could use the armor to figure it out this time. In the end, the difference was so great. Chapter 164. Jiang Changkong did not go back. Instead, he went to look for a place to kill the star demon. After killing for a whole night, he waited until dawn before returning to the research team's base. Early in the morning, Tang Ruoshi and the others were having breakfast. Seeing him return, Yun Qing took out a portion. Tang Ruoshi drank a mouthful of porridge and said, Last night, Ndingbang called in the middle of the night and said he wanted to see you. Why? Jiang Changkong asked even though he already knew the answer. He said he wanted to see your friend again, Tang Ruoshi said. Yun Qing asked curiously, What happened last night? Isn't seeing him enough? Ahem, last night, Li Changtian brought a young master from the Sea clan and was taught a lesson. Jiang Changkong coughed softly and said, My friend showed mercy for my sake. Well, for the sake of the 100 star stones. The Sea clan? He dared to hit him? Yun Qing and the others were shocked. Then, she said, he was beaten up and he wants to get back at him? Maybe, Jiang Changkong said uncertainly. However, it was not a problem for him to get back at him. If he was too strong, he would not come out. If he could settle it, he would earn some more star stones and play with him. Tang Ruoshi frowned and said, You'll know later. Changkong, try to persuade your friend not to kill him if he can. I will, Jiang Changkong said. Yun Qing and the others were shocked. Your friend dared to kill him? That was a genius from a major force in a major province. Not only did he beat him up, but he also dared to kill him? Jiang Changkong shook his head and did not say anything. Tang Ruoshi said, I'll tell you the details. Of course, I don't know much about it. Actually, Changkong is not familiar with that person either. Tang Ruoshi explained the matter in detail. The friendship between Jiang Changkong and that person was just a one-time cooperation. Even though there was a connection between them, no one knew how heavy this friendship was. Yun Qing and the others were surprised, but they didn't say anything. That person's whereabouts were strange, his strength was great, and his identity was unknown. If he really wanted to kill him, it would be impossible to find him. As for looking for Jiang Changkong, it was just a collaboration. Why would they look for him? At that time, he would definitely not contact Jiang Changkong after he killed him. He would immediately flee far away. After breakfast, they did not do any missions today. Instead, they studied the samples collected in the stronghold. Jiang Changkong asked them why they were researching this. Tang Ruoshi told him honestly that they needed to improve the quality of the soil or plant suitable medicinal herbs according to the environment and temperature. In special areas, every bit of astral power fluctuation had to be precise, and what kind of warrior was suitable for repair and so on. Jiang Changkong couldn't understand most of the meaning, so he shut up and stopped asking. If he continued to ask, Tang Ruoshi, the crazy researcher, would give him a lot of professional knowledge. Brother Changkong. And Dingbang's voice was heard. His burly body was like a running bear. You still have the nerve to come here? Jiang Changkong said coldly. And Dingbang's body froze, and he asked in a daze, Brother Changkong, what do you mean? I finally persuaded him to meet you, but you attacked him the moment you met him? Jiang Changkong's expression was cold. If this gets out, people will say that I, Jiang Changkong, betrayed my friend for 100 star stones. It's a misunderstanding. It's really a misunderstanding. And Dingbang looked a bit embarrassed. He smiled apologetically and said, Mr. G, I just want to verify it. I mean no harm. Ha, don't fool a kid. Jiang Chongkong sneered. I really just want to verify it, and Dingbang said with a bitter face. Chongkong, you must believe me. Jiang Chongkong said coldly, don't call me so intimately. You make it sound like we know each other very well. Please call me Chang Kaisheng. All right. Here are the 100 star stones of superior 5th grade that I promised you. And Dingbang took out the star stones and handed them to him. He sighed. I came here this time because I want to meet you again. I don't want to meet you, Jiang Chongkong said coldly. Chongkong, ask Li Chongtian to come here and give me an explanation. Jiang Chongkong snorted and said, Is it because I, Jiang Chongkong, can't lift my saber, or is it because he is arrogant? And Dingbang looked nervous. Chongkong, be careful with your words. He is young Master Li. It's not like I haven't beaten him before. And Dingbang, you have beaten Li Chongtian before? Tang Ruashi was also a little shocked, but she regained her calmness in the blink of an eye. Jiang Chongkong's friend dared to beat up the Feng family. It seemed that it was not a big deal for him to beat up Li Chongtian. These two guys were really good friends. And Dingbang opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but when he saw Jiang Chongkong's cold face, he immediately shut up. Ask Li Chongtian to come here, Jiang Chongkong said calmly. And Dingbang's face turned bitter. He sighed and said carefully, Let's discuss something. Can you not say that I was the one who said his name? Jiang Chongkong was slightly stunned. He didn't allow you to say that he came here? Yes, and Dingbang said in a muffled voice. Now he understood why Li Chongtian didn't allow him to say it. It was obvious that he didn't want to see Jiang Chongkong. Okay, I won't say it. Jiang Chongkong nodded. And Dingbang then walked to the side and took out his phone to contact Li Chongtian. Jiang Chongkong couldn't be bothered to listen to what he said. He only knew that Li Chongtian agreed to come. Young Master Li and Mr. G will be here soon. And Dingbang came to his side with a worried expression. He didn't do well this time. The backer he had just found might not be stable anymore. Jiang Chongkong sat at the side and watched Tang Ruashi and the others study while waiting for Li Chongtian to arrive. Half an hour later, two figures finally arrived. One of them had long silver hair and was exuding a cold aura. It was Ji Young-sung, whom he met last night. The other person was his old acquaintance, Li Chongtian. Brother Chongkong, I truly never expected to see you here. It's been a long time since we last met. I've truly missed you. Li Chongtian laughed, and ran over with a face full of enthusiasm, wanting to give him a big hug. Stop. Jiang Chongkong stuck out a finger and stopped Li Chongtian. He said coldly, I'm not that close to you. Plus, it hasn't been long since we last met. As the saying goes, 1 day apart is like 3 years. How many days has it been? Plus, we went through thick and thin together in the twisted land. Li Chongtian said unhappily. However, when he saw Jiang Chongkong's cold expression, his voice became softer and softer. Fine, you beat everyone up. Jiang Chongkong looked at him indifferently and didn't say anything. Li Chongtian's heart sank. He quickly explained, That night, Ji Qingming and I didn't run away. We really had something to do and had to leave. Ji Young-sung walked over and said, That night, Li Chongtian was transferred away by his family. You know that's not what I care about. And Dingbang should have told you just now. Jiang Chongkong's expression was calm. Traces of golden light shone and the surrounding temperature rose. That person was very angry last night. I should give him an explanation. Chongkong, don't be impulsive. Please don't be impulsive. Li Chongtian quickly said. I was anxious last night and caused a misunderstanding. I'm willing to apologize. Ji Young-sung quickly said. If it was someone else, he could just show his identity. However, the person in front of him had a criminal record. When he was in the Gangshui castle, he beat up a bunch of people. Those who were no weaker than him, star spirits, were all sent to the Federation prison. There's no misunderstanding. 100 pieces of upper-grade 5th-grade star stones. Li Changtian shouted hurriedly. I, Jiang Changkong, will not do it for a mere 500. I'll give you a chance to explain. Everyone. Chapter 165. Tang Ruashi was very calm, but Yun Qing and the others were dumbfounded. Where's your integrity? Didn't they agree that a mere few hundred star stones were nothing? You won't make a move for 500? Li Changtian heaved a sigh of relief, but his heart ached for the star stones. Why did that lunar star power cultivator become friends with Jiang Changkong? This guy only cared about star stones. Fortunately, there was a sucker here. Thinking of this, he winked at Ndingbang. Ndingbang looked miserable. No more. Li Changtian was speechless. Bulsh *T Budokai earns a lot of 5th-grade star stones every day. You must have accumulated a lot over the years, but I haven't squeezed much out of you. I feel like you're messing with me, Jiang Changkong said expressionlessly. Do you think I'm too kind? Ahem. Li Changtian coughed. Why would I? It's just that I don't have the habit of bringing star stones when I go out. How about I go back to get them? Who would bring star stones to see you? Here you go. Ji Young-sung waved his hand and took out a pile of star stones. 500 pieces of 5th-grade star stones, not one more, not one less. Jiang Changkong accepted the star stones and looked at Ji Young-sung with much friendlier eyes. Explain. Ji Young-sung explained, last night, I was really anxious to find out that person's identity. Other than the Feng clan, I really can't think of anyone else who has such attainments in lunar star power. The world is so big. How can the Feng clan understand everything? Jiang Changkong said calmly. Besides, didn't half a lunar star tablet appear in the place where the starlight is distorted? That star tablet can't reach the astral spirit level, and it just came out. Even if he can understand the words on it, he can't have such achievements in such a short time. Ji Young-sung said in a low voice, I don't have any ill intentions when I look for him. I just want to know his identity and buy you guy. You guy, he won't sell it. He likes it very much, Jiang Changkong said coldly. That you guy was something that could sense the tip of the sword. It was definitely a high-grade treasure. It doesn't matter if he doesn't sell it. My family would like to invite him to become a member of our family. Not long after, it's possible to invite him to the extreme frigid pond again. Ji Young-sung said in a deep voice. If he didn't want to sell, then he wouldn't buy. If he could rope him in, it would be a great help. Of course, the prerequisite was that he had to figure out the other party's identity first. He didn't dare to use it until he was clear about it. Jiang Changkong's brows furrowed slightly. You guys' matter could be hidden from Ndingbang, but it could not be hidden from the people of the big province. They could get the information from Professor Yun just by making a phone call. Even if Professor Yun didn't say anything, these people could get the information from the people of the other research institute. In the future, when he used the extreme frigid sword, he wouldn't be able to hide it. Okay, the explanation is done. You guys can leave, Jiang Changkong said with a wave of his hand. Huh! The group of people was stunned. The explanation was done. Leave? You really just gave them a chance to explain. Ji Young-sung was a little confused. He didn't want to give up and said, I still want to see him. Then you guys go and find him yourselves. I can't do anything about it. Jiang Changkong spread his hands, indicating that he couldn't help even if he wanted to. Only you can contact him. Please help me. Ji Young-sung gritted his teeth and looked as if he was willing to pay a big price. I'll give you another 1,000 pieces of 5th-grade star stones. You can find someone else. I can't afford to offend him, Jiang Changkong refused tactfully. Do you think it's too little? Ji Young-sung's face turned green. This was really the limit of what he could offer. This is no longer a problem of the star stones. This is a problem of relationship, Jiang Chongkong said with an unfriendly expression, because of you guys. We agreed to meet, but you guys attacked him directly. He is very angry. He is already doubting my character. To think that I, the supremely righteous Jiang Chongkong, actually fell because of 100 star stones from you guys. Everyone. Li Changtian's eyes were dull. Supremely righteous? How could you have the nerve to brag about yourself like this? Tang Ruoshi nodded solemnly. There's no doubt about Chongkong's character. He values friendship and righteousness. It's indeed your fault. Yun Qing and the other four strongly agreed. We have all heard that Chongkong values friendship and righteousness. When he was at the Nebula State, he went into the Star Demon Group alone to save his friends. He has made great contributions to the Federation. What you guys are doing is completely destroying his character. And Dingbang was a little ashamed. Compared to Jiang Chongkong, he was much worse. Li Changtian and Ji Youngsung were a little embarrassed. What happened yesterday was their fault. They were really anxious at that time. They should have had a good talk with the other party. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so awkward. Li Changtian said apologetically, Brother Chongkong, think of another way and help. I can't help. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. Changtian, take out your star stones too, and add 1,000 pieces of grade, 5 top-grade star stones. Please help me. I owe you a favor. Ji Youngsung pulled Li Changtian and promised solemnly. This isn't about the star stones. Jiang Chongkong's expression was reserved, but he was laughing on the inside. Another 2,000 star stones. Including the previous 600, it was 2,600. 780,000 essence, chi, and spirit. Brother Chongkong, help them. I have another 500 here. I'll give it to you too. And Dingbang interrupted. Didn't you run out of star stones? Li Changtian's face darkened. It's at home. I just received it. And Dingbang didn't look embarrassed. He took out his phone. There was a message on it. It was the 500 star stones he had just received. Li Changtian's expression eased up. Another 500 star stones. Jiang Chongkong was silent. He wondered if he should wait a little longer to see if there would be more. From their expressions, it seemed that they really couldn't take out more star stones. Forget it. That's all. Jiang Chongkong sighed. I can only try my best to persuade him. But I can't guarantee that it will work. Give me the star stones first. Thank you very much, Ji Youngsung said gratefully. Give me the star stones first. Li Changtian was a little worried. Humph, it's all because of you. Let me tell you, if you mess around again, I won't let you off. Jiang Chongkong snorted coldly. And Dingbang, go and get the star stones. You know where my star stones are, Li Changtian said. And Dingbang nodded. Then he turned around and left. Ji Youngsung took out 1,000 pieces of 5th-grade star stones and gave them to him. Have some tea. Tang Ruoshi brewed some tea and said. Li Changtian and Shi Yongxing hurriedly thanked him and sat down at the side. Jiang Chongkong took a sip of tea and said, It seems that there is a gap between you and Fatty Nan. The fat on your body is full of oil. His big brother is his biological brother. Li Changtian curled his lips and said, Like us, we are only related to the geniuses in the hall. The gap between us is not small. Well, no wonder you are in such a bad situation. Why do you want to invite him to join your Budokai? Jiang Chongkong looked at Ji Youngsung. Yao Meng also wanted to invite him but was rejected. It's not my Budokai. It's the one in my family. Ji Youngsung sighed and said, Changtian and I may look impressive to outsiders, but in fact, we are just running errands for those people. I really envy you. Jiang Chongkong was really envious. He was favored by many people, and the whole family and forces revolved around him. They would help him collect the star stones, and his subordinates would help him find them. He only needed to practice hard. If he had such a family, he would be able to go to heaven easily. Don't be envious. This is like an investment. When they grow up, we will also benefit from it. Ji Young-sung smiled and said, "If you can come and persuade that person to come with you, I will definitely give you the position of vice president." "I'm used to being the president." "I'm not used to being a vice president," Jiang Chongkong said calmly. Chapter 166. And Dingbang took the star stones and Jiang Chongkong left with them. This time, he didn't go to the frigid pond. Instead, he found a random place to kill the star demon. Jiang Chongkong didn't stop until the evening. He didn't gain much. He didn't even get 10,000 essence, energy, and spirit points. He didn't have a choice. He was worried about attracting a late-stage star spirit star demon, so he didn't dare to go all out. Looking at the time, Jiang Chongkong contacted Li Chongtian. "How is it?" Li Chongtian asked nervously. Jiang Chongkong said coldly, "This is your last chance. If you attack for no reason again, I will kill you." "Don't worry. We won't mess around this time," Li Chongtian promised. He paused and said, "By the way, Lin Yunwang from the Lin clan is building an arena in Ping'an City. He said he wants to seek justice from you." "I know. I will be punctual," Jiang Chongkong said. "Be careful. Lin Yunwang is famous for being sinister," Li Chongtian said. "Tonight at midnight. Same place." After Jiang Chongkong finished speaking, he hung up. Then, he continued to kill the star demon. When he won Lin Yunwang's star stones, he would definitely be able to perfect another martial art. There was still a long way to go to become a star spirit. He hoped that he could become a star spirit before the city was built. Only then would he be confident. The abyss was not bad. It would be good if he could build a city here. There were many star demon nearby and there were also many resources. But the premise was that the mine was of mid-grade. If it wasn't, the resources wouldn't be able to support the development of the city. Moreover, building a city here meant that he would have to compete with Ping'an City for benefit. By then, he would have many opponents. After sorting out his thoughts, Jiang Chongkong changed his location to look for the star demon. Not long after, Jiang Chongkong met an early-stage star spirit star demon and killed it to collect its star stones. There were quite a few astral spirits here. They had only been in the abyss for a few days, and they had already met so many. It was clear how terrifying the abyss was. He kept changing locations to kill the star demon. Jiang Chongkong waited until it was 11:30 before he rushed to the cold lake. This time, he did not show himself in advance. Instead, he hid at the side. It was better to be careful. When it was almost midnight, Ji Young-sung and Li Chongtian arrived. This time, Li Chongtian did not wear a black robe. Now that she had met Jiang Chongkong, there was no need to hide it anymore. Apart from them, there was one more person this time. It was a middle-aged man. He used his astral power as he hurried along. The fluctuations he emitted made people's hearts tremble. Jiang Chongkong's eyes narrowed. Mid-stage star spirit warrior. The three of them arrived at the cold pond and scanned the surroundings. There was no one around. Could it be that we've been deceived by Jiang Chongkong? Li Chongtian frowned. Could it be that this fellow ran away with the money? Ji Young-sung frowned. It was already 12 o'clock. The middle-aged man looked calm. He stood aside and didn't say anything. "Are you trying to get back at me?" The weeds swayed and Jiang Chongkong stepped out in a black outfit. His voice was cold. As soon as he finished speaking, a ray of astral power of the moon swept over the three of them. The middle-aged man immediately put his hands behind his back and unleashed his golden astral power to resist the astral power of the moon. With a loud bang, the two astral powers collided. The ground cracked and dust flew in the air. The cold lake not far away was hit by the astral power and the water shot up into the sky. The astral power dissipated and neither of them took a step back. However, the middle-aged man's face darkened and he waved his hands behind his back. "Don't misunderstand," Ji Young-sung quickly said. "I mean no harm. I just want to know if the martial arts you practice has anything to do with the Sea family. It doesn't matter, Jiang Changkong said coldly. Ji Young-sung paused for a second and then said politely, May I know who you are? Are you interested in joining the Sea family? The Sea family is willing to give you the position of vice president. The Sea family will not be stingy with the resources you need for cultivation and the more powerful martial arts of the moon. I'm not interested, Jiang Changkong said calmly. Ji Young-sung opened his mouth but didn't know what to say. This was too unreasonable. He wasn't interested in anything and there wasn't even any room for negotiation. Li Changtian interrupted, What about the laurel cloud? Can you give it to me? Jiang Changkong said coldly, No. Ji Young-sung sighed and said, All right. How should I address you? Jiang Changkong was silent for a moment and said coldly, Jiang Changyue. Jiang Changyue? The two of them were stunned. This was a woman? Was she different from Jiang Changkong by just one word? The middle-aged man stood beside them quietly and didn't say a word. If there's nothing else, don't bother me again, Jiang Changkong said coldly. Ji Young-sung hurriedly said, Wait. May I know if you can suppress your strength and exchange a palm strike with him? You're so annoying, Jiang Changkong said coldly. I'm willing to give you star stones. 500 pieces of 5th level superior grade, Ji Young-sung said in a deep voice. I don't need it. Jiang Changkong needs it. Li Changtian said, You guys should be on good terms. Actually, Jiang Changkong and I are brothers. We're very familiar with each other. Jiang Changkong. Who the hell is your brother? Very familiar with you? You really know how to flatter yourself. Jiang Changkong thought for a moment and said, Just this once. The middle-aged man took out 500 star stones and wrapped them in star power before flying toward Jiang Changkong. The power of the moon circulated and caught the star stones. Thank you. Ji Young-sung's expression changed. He walked toward Jiang Changkong and reached out his right hand. Jiang Changkong also reached out his hand. Their palms touched and the power of the moon intertwined. Ji Young-sung's expression changed slightly. He retreated and said, All right. Thank you for showing mercy. Goodbye. Jiang Changkong turned around and left without any hesitation. Ji Young-sung stood on the spot with a complicated expression. He was in a daze for a moment. Young-sung, what's wrong? Li Changtian walked over. Seeing him in a daze, he asked curiously, Did you discover something? Distorted starlight, half-star steel, cold moon art. Ji Young-sung's expression was solemn. How did he get it? That translated martial art is only circulated in our province. Moreover, he has cultivated the cold moon art to such a level in just a few days? Cold moon art? The martial art that distorted starlight? Li Changtian was shocked. The middle-aged man was also shocked. Could it be that he is a genius in the moon astral power? This needs to be verified. Uncle Enlin, I have troubled you this time. Ji Young-sung said gratefully. Why are you being so polite to me? I didn't even help. I'm no match for this man. Enlin chuckled. I did not expect Uncle Enlin, who is at the peak of the middle stage, to feel inferior. Li Changtian said in shock. Enlin's expression was solemn. If it was just the moon astral power that we tested just now, I still have some confidence. However, he still has the moon saber sword. Moreover, as you described, the saber chi that can ignore armors and kill people without getting injured. I have no confidence at all. I only wanted to test him. Since I have no confidence, I will make peace with him. Shi Yongxing said calmly. He had also thought of bringing stronger people, but this was not the Ting family in the big province. To be able to invite Enlin over meant that they had some friendship. Without friendship, he would not be able to invite him. What do you plan to do next? Li Changtian asked. Continue with Jiang Changkong? Of course. I have already sent a message to my family to investigate Jiang Changyue. There will be news in half an hour. Ji Young-sung sighed softly. I am only worried that Jiang Changyue might be a fake name. Chapter 167. The name Jiang Changyue was obviously fake. There were definitely other people with this name in the Federation, but they didn't fit the description of the black-clothed man. Ji Young-sung had investigated many Jiang Changyue names, but none of them were his target. The cold moon art had also shocked the Ji clan. Could it be that he managed to decipher the astral stele? Even if he did, the cold moon art was only an intermediate grade art. It was impossible for him to reach the astral spirit realm. Or did he have a follow-up cultivation technique? All sorts of questions couldn't be answered. Ji Young-sung looked for Jiang Changkong again, and asked him about Jiang Changyue and the cold moon art. Jiang Changyue? Cold moon art? Jiang Changkong was slightly stunned. He said that his name is Jiang Changyue? You don't know? Ji Young-sung and Li Changtian were dumbfounded. Weren't the two of them good friends? I've already told you that I'm not familiar with him, Jiang Changkong sighed. I never expected that he would use this name. Is it really a fake name? Ji Young-sung sighed with disappointment on his face. I don't know either. Jiang Changkong spread his hands and said, What do you know? Can you not say that you don't know anything? Shi Yongxing and Li Changtian were a little speechless. They opened and closed their mouths to say that they didn't know, that they weren't clear. I've only talked to him once, said Jiang Changkong with a shrug. I only know a little. Here you go. The corner of Ji Young-sung's mouth twitched. He took out 200 star stones and said, This is all I have. I even borrowed them. All right, I'll tell you everything I know. Jiang Changkong accepted the star stones with a smile. He didn't need to wait for Lin Yunwang to perfect a martial technique. He didn't expect that his alternate identity would have this kind of benefit. He could earn star stones just by casually making up a story. The two of them quickly focused and waited for him to continue. You know what happened in the beginning. I was still weak back then, and he gave me the evidence. Jiang Changkong started to talk nonsense. He made up a story about an orphan. A little guy without parents, no one knew where he came from, and no one knew where he went. There was only one saber technique that accompanied him. He had always been cultivating that saber technique. From an ordinary person, he stepped into the star energy realm, and finally grew to his current state. I have to say, he's a genius. I thought I was a genius, but compared to him, I'm still lacking. Jiang Changkong said with a face full of admiration. After all, it was not against the law to boast about himself. I was the one who gave him the cold moon art. In the story, on his way to Ping'an City, he met that person again. When the two of them met again, their strengths were about the same, and he still only knew one blade technique. Jiang Changkong originally wanted to impart the ardent sun art to him, but he chose the cold moon art. Moreover, he only cultivated by relying on the patterns. This was because when they were drinking, Jiang Changkong said, One should enjoy life to the fullest, don't let the wine cup be empty to the moon. Thinking that the other didn't have a name and didn't know how to address him, he chose the cold moon art and called him you. The other agreed on the spot, saying that he didn't have a name or surname. If you're called Jiang Changkong, I'll be called Jiang Changyue. I originally thought that was a joke. I didn't expect him to really be called Jiang Changyue. Jiang Changkong said helplessly, He's a man, not a woman. He's very generous when he drinks. I think it's a woman. A man can't be so talented in the moon path. Ji Young-sung said with certainty. Moreover, he easily agreed to the name Changyue. How could I say that I made it up? In order to come up with this story, I thought about it all night. All right, you guys can go back to your work. I need to adjust my state for the battle, Jiang Changkong said. The two looked at each other and left. And Ding Bang would take care of the research institute for the day. Jiang Changkong sat alone in the stone hut, thinking about which martial art to upgrade. Looking at Ji Young-sung and the others, he might have to use his alternate identity. He should be able to deal with Lin Yunwang. Besides, he could upgrade his martial art to convert astral power. He needed to balance the astral power of the moon and the ardent sun. Besides, his alternate identity mainly focused on blade techniques, so he should make his blade techniques stronger. That was to upgrade the 3 strikes of grace. After making up his mind, Jiang Chongkong upgraded the 3 strikes of grace. His astral power increased and his understanding of blade techniques flowed into his mind. The strikes of grace were so fast that they didn't leave any traces. Invisible astral power fluctuated and wisps of saber aura dissipated. The ground was cracked. Comprehending the 3 strikes of grace, Jiang Chongkong was suddenly looking forward to how powerful he would be if he used his alternate identity. He wasn't sure if he could face a peak-stage star spirit, but he was confident that he could face a mid-stage star spirit. Jiang Chongkong, peak of star treasury middle rank martial art, indestructible divine art, perfection, 1875000/1875000 Tai Chi mysterious art, perfection, 1875000/1875000 Third strike of grace, perfection, 1875000/1875000 Blazing sun art, perfection, 1/1875000 Yuling art, perfection, 1875000/1875000 Cold moon art, perfection, 1/1875000 Essence, energy and spirit, 51613 The star stones he had collected during this time were gone. He felt empty. If only he had a few thousand 6th grade star stones. He suddenly missed Nan Tianpang. After the upgrade, Jiang Chongkong left to kill the star demon and would come back at night. The day of the battle had arrived. A stage had been set up outside the Peace City's gate. Lin Yunhuang used his influence to spread the news throughout the entire Peace City. He even heard about it in the provincial capital. There were also news from the other cities. Many cultivators had arrived in the past 3 days. Naturally, there were changes in the news. Instead, it was Jiang Chongkong who was the one who bullied others. He was vicious and merciless. Killing people in the name of the president had become a malignant tumor. When the day of the battle arrived, Jiang Chongkong stepped out of the abyss and headed for the stage. The sky was gloomy and it was drizzling. Outside the Peace City, the stage was surrounded by cultivators. They were using their astral energy to form a barrier to block the rain. On the stage, Lin Yunhuang stood up. He didn't use his astral energy and allowed the rain to soak his body. The president of the Budokai in Jianghai province, Jiang Chongkong, made up a false accusation and killed indiscriminately. A disciple of my Lin clan only went to the provincial capital of Jianghai province for sightseeing and was killed by this person. Now, this person has come to the Peace City and robbed the Star Guiding Stone, Budokai's mission, and even robbed President Ndingbang. If such a vicious and evil person is not killed, the heavens will not tolerate it. Today, I, Lin Yunhuang, will kill this person even if I have to lose my face. I'll return peace to Jianghai and Peace City. I support Old Master Lin. We can't do anything about him dominating Jianghai. But now that he's in our Peace City, he has to keep a low profile. The surrounding cultivators responded and their voices resounded outside the Peace City's gate. Someone in the crowd had an unsightly expression. That's Ndingbang. What does it have to do with me? I'm happy to be robbed, so what are you so excited about? Do I need you to stand up for me? If you say that, Jiang Chongkong will think that I support you. Now that Li Chongtian and Ji Youngsung have things to ask of him, I'm still thinking about how to suck up to them. Making up a false accusation? A vicious person? I think that's more suitable for you, Lin Yunhuang. A cold voice was heard as Jiang Chongkong walked over. He's here. Is this Jiang Chongkong? He's so young, but he's so powerful that old Master Lin has to take action personally. The crowd automatically made way for him and looked at him in surprise. Jiang Chongkong was also paying attention to the crowd. There were many astral spirits hidden among them, and a few of them were even mid-stage astral spirit. As for late-stage astral spirits, he didn't see them. They might be hiding their cultivation, or they might not be. However, it didn't matter if there were late-stage astral spirits nearby. As long as Lin Yunhuang took action personally and had star-guiding stones, that would be enough. Chapter 168. It was drizzling on the stage. How dare you deny what you've done? Lin Yunhuang's face was gloomy. Killing a bunch of villains is what a cultivator should do. But you, old man, how dare you ruin my reputation? I won't show any mercy later. When Jiang Chongkong stepped onto the stage, a majestic shockwave blasted out, causing the entire stage to tremble. You have a reputation too? Lin Yunhuang sneered. You're lying. You annihilated the Chu family and killed the disciples of the Lin and Jin families. You deserve to die. Cut the crap. Did you bring the 1,000 star stones? Jiang Chongkong asked coldly. Here they are. You can check them. If you have the ability, you can step over my dead body and take them all, Lin Yunhuang said coldly. A hidden star ring appeared and he threw it to Jiang Chongkong. Jiang Chongkong held the hidden star ring. He felt that it was a little slippery, but he didn't pay much attention to it. He poured his astral energy into the ring and found that there were 1,000 high-grade 5th-grade star stones inside. Fine. You said that I bullied in Dingbang. This time, I'll hand them over to him. The winner can take them back. Jiang Chongkong looked at Dingbang and said indifferently, There's no need to trouble President N. I've already troubled an old friend of mine, Lin Yunhuang said indifferently. Huh. Jiang Chongkong frowned. It's me. An old man walked out from the crowd and stepped onto the stage. His body was stooped and his face was wrinkled. I am Yun Tianshan. Yun Tianshan? It's him? The crowd was in an uproar. Back then, the Yun family was at the peak of their power. They were said to be stronger than any force in the Tranquil Province. Yeah. At that time, the Yun family didn't even give face to the major forces in the province. What a pity. That bastard from the Yun family caused the decline of the Yun family. The onlookers discussed among themselves as they looked at the hunchbacked old man with shock and pity. Jiang Chongkong frowned slightly. Just as he was about to say something, Yun Tianshan spoke. Chiang Kai-sheng can go ask around. This old man, Yun Tianshan, has a good reputation. Old Master Yun Tianshan from Jianghai is a man of his word. He has never broken his promise. That's right. Our Anding province doesn't bully small provinces. You can ask around about the old man's reputation. Old Master Yun, I trust you, and Dingbang also said. Seeing this, Jiang Chongkong could only toss the star-concealing ring over. Sorry to trouble you. Yun Tianshan accepted the concealing star ring and left the arena. There were only 2 people left in the arena. Jiang Chongkong waved his hand, and a long saber appeared in his hand. Lin Yunhuang's expression was grave as he held his sword in his right hand. I respect your age. You make the first move, Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. Lin Yunhuang's face trembled as he said, I need to charge up this move. Do you dare to take it? I'll give you my permission. Jiang Chongkong stood with his hands behind his back as his saber floated in the air. Lin Yunhuang roared. His voice was like a clap of thunder as a majestic astral energy surged out of his body and soared into the sky. Among the crowd, Shi Yongxing had also arrived. He had a surprised look in his eyes. This is storing energy? He's clearly releasing his astral energy. The Lin clan has such a move? Why haven't I heard of it before? Li Changtian asked curiously. And Dingbang shook his head. I don't know either. That old thing is cunning. I'm afraid that Jiang Chongkong will suffer a loss. It's good that he suffers a loss. That fellow is too arrogant. Li Changtian's tone was complicated. You have no idea how domineering he was back in the Twisted Land. Even I couldn't stand it anymore. Jiang Changkong wore an indifferent expression. Although he said that he would let Lin Yunhuang make the first move, he didn't let his guard down. The astral energy in his body was ready to erupt at any moment. Rumble! All of a sudden, thunder rumbled in the sky. Dark clouds rolled and the drizzle turned into a torrential downpour. The sky was dark and strong winds were blowing. The surrounding temperature was dropping rapidly. Not good. That old thing is really despicable. He's waiting for the rain, and Dingbang exclaimed. That old thing must be watching the weather forecast. Ji Youngsung couldn't help but curse. Li Changtian took out his phone and looked at it. It's true. Today's thunderstorm and Lin Yunhuang's astral energy will definitely suppress Jiang Changkong's astral energy. The cultivators in the surroundings wore grave expressions. Many of them knew that Lin Yunhuang was despicable, but no one said anything. Although Lin Yunhuang was here for revenge, he was, after all, a member of the Tranquil Province. As for Jiang Changkong, no one had a good impression of him because of Lin Yunhuang's words. This move. Chang Kaisheng, watch out! Lin Yunhuang roared. Under the guidance of his astral energy, the rain covered the entire stage like a raging river. Under the guidance of the astral energy, the rain gathered and formed into a massive sword ray. I've heard that old man Lin is despicable and shameless, but I've finally seen it with my own eyes. Jiang Changkong said indifferently. The astral energy of the sun surged out from his body and evaporated the rain around him. However, the sky was filled with rolling lightning and heavy rain. Coupled with Lin Yunhuang's astral energy, his blazing sun astral energy actually dimmed a little. Pay for the death of my Lin clan's disciple. Lin Yunhuang controlled the massive sword ray to absorb the rain and slashed it down. You're underestimating me too much, Jiang Changkong said indifferently as the astral energy within his body surged once more. At this moment, all of his astral energy had been converted into the astral energy of the sun. The terrifying astral energy swept across the stage, evaporating the rain. The spectators' faces changed as they frantically retreated. How is this possible? Just how powerful is Jiang Changkong? Li Changtian widened his eyes. He's infinitely close to the late phase. This person's strength has exceeded my expectations. Ji Youngsung squinted his eyes. Rumble! Boundless astral light shone brilliantly as the terrifying astral energy swept out, causing all the rain to dissipate. Blazing sun! Jiang Changkong shouted and slashed out with his saber. He gathered the boundless energy of the sun and slashed out with the blazing sun saber. Rumble! The blazing sun saber and the water sword ray clashed. An earth-shattering explosion rang out as a shockwave spread out. The spectators immediately retreated. In an instant, the stage collapsed and countless rocks flew in all directions. Blood splattered everywhere as astral energy swept out. Lin Yunhuang was blown away like a broken sandbag. Boom! Lin Yunhuang fell to the ground with blood gushing out of his right hand. His face was filled with fear. When the astral energy dissipated, a golden sun appeared in the sky. Jiang Changkong stood under the sun, bathing in the golden radiance. Wherever the golden light passed, the gloomy sky brightened up, shining through the dark clouds in the horizon. You're pitifully weak before strength, said Jiang Changkong. Jiang Changkong said indifferently. His saber vibrated, and the blazing sun above his head transformed into a red sunset. One saber, sunset. Lin Yunhuang's face was filled with fear. I admit defeat. You've won. Since this is a life-and-death battle, then the winner will live and the loser will be buried. Jiang Changkong coldly said. As the sunset blade descended, it instantly engulfed Lin Yunhuang. This! Everyone was shocked. Lin Yunhuang was killed just like that? And Dingbang and the other two were also dumbfounded. It ended just like that? Lin Yunhuang had looked at the weather forecast, but Lin Yunhuang was killed with just 2 slashes? Didn't you say that he would suffer a small loss? Asked Li Changtian. He wanted to see Jiang Changkong suffer, even if it was just once. And Dingbang was speechless. Who knew that Lin Yunwang would be so terrifying? Lin Yunwang was the one being suppressed by the sun's astral energy. Chapter 169. Under the scorching sun, there was only a handful of ashes and a long sword left. Jiang Changkong put away the long sword and said calmly, "You should give me the star stone. Here you go. You're a young genius. I can't compete with you." Yun Tianshan sighed and handed over the ring. "Can I bring the ashes back?" Jiang Changkong took the ring. It wasn't as smooth as before, but the star stone was still there. "Go ahead." "Thank you." Yun Tianshan put away the ashes and left. Jiang Changkong took the star stone and left. The onlookers looked at him with a complicated expression. They were deeply shocked by the 2 slashes just now. No one said anything. They turned around and left. Jiang Changkong didn't say anything. There was no one in the tranquil province who could fight. He took the star stone and left. "Changkong, I'm on your side." And Dingbang ran over. "Don't take Lin Yunwang's words seriously." "I know. It has nothing to do with you," Jiang Changkong said calmly. As a president, he had to be thick-skinned. How could he talk about it when someone robbed him? It was most likely that someone from Budokai had spread the news and Lin Yunwang had found out. "Congratulations, Brother Changkong. I knew you would be able to deal with it easily." Li Changtian changed his tone in front of him. "Congratulations." Ji Young-sung walked over with a smile. Then, he was stunned. "Are you injured?" "No." Jiang Changkong had just opened his mouth, but he vomited a mouthful of golden blood. Blood also seeped out of his nose. "What's going on?" And Dingbang's expression changed. "Don't tell me you're really injured? Were you trying to hold on just now?" The scorching sun and the mighty star power filled his body in an instant. A strange power was corroding his internal organs in his body. If it weren't for his indestructible body, his internal organs would have been destroyed before he could even react. The Tai Chi diagram appeared and forcibly suppressed the corrosive force. Barely suppressing it, Jiang Changkong's face was gloomy. "Damn it, I still fell for it." "What's going on?" Ji Young-sung asked with concern. "A force is corroding my internal organs. I can only suppress it for now." Jiang Changkong's face sank. Even the Taiji painting could only temporarily suppress this corrosive power. If he wanted to dispel it, he would probably have to use the gold-silver Taiji diagram. Corrode the internal organs? This is the poison of the sinful realm. There's no cure for it in the Peace Province. How did Lin Yunwang get it? Ji Young-sung's expression changed. Sin Domain's poison? What's that? And Dingbang was confused. Yun Tianshan. Li Changtian's face turned gloomy. Didn't that person from the Yun family go to the Sin Domain? Don't follow me. I'm going to detoxify myself, Jiang Changkong said and left in a hurry. Changkong, I'll ask someone to help you suppress it for a day. I'll ask my family to bring the antidote, Ji Young-sung said. No need. Jiang Changkong said and used the mystic yang steps and the Yuling art. He disappeared in an instant. He didn't go to the abyss. Instead, he left Peace City and stopped in a bush. The Tai Chi diagram appeared in his body at the same time and entered the Tai Chi diagram. The black and white Tai Chi diagram absorbed the two energies and turned gold and silver. The Taiji diagrams might multiplied. Strands of strange corrosive power were expelled from his body. When the corrosive force came into contact with the weeds, they withered instantly and emitted a foul smell. Jiang Changkong heaved a sigh of relief. The Tai Chi diagram could be detoxified, but it would take some time. As the corrosive force was expelled, the invincible Vajra activated automatically to repair and strengthen his internal organs. Time passed, and it wasn't until 8 at night that the Tai Chi diagram expelled the last trace of the corrosive force. It's impossible to guard against it. The problem should be with the ring. Jiang Changkong's face darkened. But why didn't it erupt at the beginning? It didn't feel slippery anymore. The more he thought about it, the colder his heart became. I'll restore my strength first, then kill Yun Tianshan and ask Ji Young-sung. Jiang Changkong thought. It took a lot of astral power to expel the corrosive force. However, even if Shao Chen searched, he would not be able to find Yun Tianshan. He might have already escaped. He sent a message to Tang Ruoshi and she replied quickly, "Where are you? Are you okay?" "I'm fine. Yun Tianshan was the witness today. I want to thank him, but I can't find him," Jiang Changkong said. "Give me half an hour. I'll help you find him," Tang Ruoshi replied. Jiang Changkong was relieved to restore his strength. Tang Ruoshi was now Professor Yun's assistant. She didn't have many connections, but she could use them to research. In less than half an hour, Tang Ruoshi sent a message saying that Yun Tianshan was still in Ping'an City. He didn't run? Jiang Changkong was a little surprised. Did he think he was going to die? Well, it was convenient for him if he didn't run. Jiang Changkong closed his eyes to restore his astral power. 2 hours later, the astral power in Jiang Changkong's body was restored, and so were his injuries. Fortunately, his invincible Vajra body was strong enough, and it was only a minor injury. After changing into black clothes, Jiang Changkong quickly went to Ping'an City. He knew who poisoned him, but he had no evidence and the scene had already dispersed, so he couldn't go through normal means. So, he could only use a sock puppet. It just so happened that he could exercise his 3 moves. After entering Ping'an City, Jiang Changkong went straight to where Yun Tianshan was. A luxurious villa was brightly lit. Jiang Changkong went directly to the villa. He heard Yun Tianshan's voice. "Old friend Lin, you really used your backup plan." "Jiang Changkong, I've sacrificed my whole life in exchange for your life." Buzz. The door opened silently, and cold air came in from outside. A layer of silvery white ice quickly formed on the ground. "Who is it?" Yun Tianshan was shocked. He looked at the ice and was shocked. "The power of Yin, the Yun family?" Jiang Changkong, dressed in black, stepped into the villa. The Tai Yin blade released waves of cold air, and the Yu Gai swayed. "Who asked you to poison me?" Jiang Changkong said coldly. "Lin Yunwang." Yun Tianshan's expression changed slightly. "The Yun family of Yin has nothing to do with Jiang Changkong, right? Are you going to kill me for him? Is Lin Yunwang worth using such a despicable method?" Jiang Changkong's voice was cold. Yun Tianshan's face darkened. "Don't push me too far, Yun Tianshan. This is the Ping'an City of the Tranquil Province. The Moon Shadow." Jiang Changkong didn't say anything else. The Tai Yin blade flashed. The shadow of moonlight lit up in the villa, but it quickly disappeared. Yun Tianshan's expression turned cold. Just when the astral power in his body was about to burst out, the extremely fast blade arrived in an instant. The blade cut the throat, but it was not injured at all. The power of Yin spread from inside to outside, and turned into an ice sculpture. Jiang Changkong went to the ice sculpture, and found a ring on his hand. There were 100 upper-grade 5th-grade star stones in it. He didn't find anything else, so he turned around and left. After leaving the Ping'an City, Jiang Changkong entered the abyss to hunt for the star demon. On the other side, Ji Young-sung, Li Changtian, and Ndingbang gathered together, frowning. "It doesn't matter if Jiang Changkong dies or not. I still want to rope Jiang Changyue in," Ji Young-sung said. "Give up. Jiang Changyue is obviously the same as Jiang Changkong. He won't be roped in," Li Changtian sighed. "Even if we can't rope him in, we still need to know how he cultivates." Ji Young-sung frowned and said, "The more I think about it, the more I feel that something is wrong. There's something wrong with his astral power." "Something's wrong? Is it fake?" Li Changtian asked curiously. "No, his astral power is stronger than the astral power cultivated by the Cold Moon Art. After obtaining the Cold Moon Art, there are already people in his family who have switched to the Cold Moon Art. Moreover, he can cultivate the cold moon art to this level. It's very likely that he has a follow-up method. Ji Young-sung frowned and said, "Young masters," Ndingbang said softly, "after talking for so long, have you ever thought that Yun Tianshan will die?" The two of them were slightly stunned, and their expressions changed drastically. "Why didn't you say so earlier? Go to Yun Tianshan's place quickly." Would Yun Tianshan die? According to Jiang Changkong's story, Jiang Changyue's feelings for Jiang Changkong were definitely not ordinary. Jiang Changyue would definitely kill Yun Tianshan. Chapter 170. When the three of them arrived at the villa, a wave of cold air sent chills down their spines. An ice sculpture stood in the room, its eyes wide open, filled with fear. "He really killed him," Ndingbang muttered, and he charged into the city to kill him. Luckily, he did not continue to seek death by challenging Jiang Changkong. This was brutal, charging into the city to kill, completely disregarding the surveillance and Federation's laws. Extreme in cold chi, such attainments. Ji Young-sung's expression was complicated. He pressed on the ice sculpture with one hand, attempting to dissipate the cold air, but he retreated upon contact. Upon contact with the ice sculpture, the cold air would spread, and with his strength, he was unable to withstand it. Completely unscathed, truly completely unscathed. Li Changtian surrounded the ice sculpture and exclaimed, "This is truly a martial art that kills without spilling blood and leaves no wounds." "Strange," Ndingbang said solemnly, "and there are no signs of fighting." He did not receive one move. Ji Young-sung said, "Jiang Changkong did not lie, Jiang Changyue's strength is above his. What should we do now?" Li Changtian asked. "This corpse, I need to send it back to the Yun family, and let them research his extreme in star power." Ji Young-sung said, "Go and investigate, where did Yun Tianshan's Sin domain poison come from, and if that person from the Yun family has escaped. Leave it to me. For something from the Sin domain to leak out, it means that it cannot wait to die." Li Changtian nodded, stood up and left. "What about me?" Ndingbang asked. Ji Young-sung ordered, "Go to the abyss, think of a way to find Jiang Changyue and Jiang Changkong." Ndingbang received the order, and headed to the abyss that very night. On Jiang Changkong's side, he had already killed dozens of star demons. His essence, chi, and spirit increased so slowly that he didn't even want to kill anymore. His relationship with Ndingbang wasn't good enough. Otherwise, he would have asked him how many star stones he had. Show filial respect to Li Changtian? This was obviously not all of his filial piety. How would he have any star stones left if he gave all of them to the emperor? To be able to squeeze out a little every time, what filial piety was this? Moreover, according to what Ndingbang had said before, the star stones he had just received proved that this guy had a fixed income. If a mature and large-scale Budokai collected one star stone from each person, there would be 100 star stones in total. Budokai in Pingon City had been around for a long time. Even if it squandered a lot of the wealth it had accumulated over the years, it still had some left. In this way, Ndingbang was likely to be the richest of the three. As for Ji Young-sung, he was already so poor that he had to ask Li Changtian to borrow star stones. As for Li Changtian, he wasn't very rich, but his status wasn't low. His family should give him living expenses and operating funds, right? If it weren't for the fact that these people from big provinces were always trying to rope him in and doing dangerous things, he really wanted to make friends with this kind of rich people. According to Yao Meng, in the future, those geniuses from big provinces might die. If there were benefits, he would participate in such dangerous things, but he wouldn't sell his life for others. Otherwise, he wouldn't even know how he died. He didn't like to put his life in the hands of others. His phone rang. Jiang Changkong glanced at it. It was Ndingbang calling, but he didn't answer it. He continued to kill the star demon. His phone kept ringing. In addition to Ndingbang, Tang Ruoshi was also calling. It wasn't until dawn that Jiang Chongkong answered Tang Ruoshi's phone. He said in a weak voice, "Sister Ruoshi. Chongkong, I heard that you were poisoned. Where are you now? Why don't you go to the research institute?" As soon as the call was connected, Tang Ruoshi's voice was heard. Professor Yun was in the research institute. Ordinary poisons could be cured. "I'm fine now," Jiang Chongkong said gently. "The poison has been expelled. I've recovered." "That's good. Where's Jiang Chongyue? Is he by your side?" Tang Ruoshi asked with a hint of nervousness. "I haven't seen him since I woke up." "What's wrong? Does Ji Young Sung want to see him again?" Jiang Chongkong said lightly. "Yun Tianshan is dead. He turned into an ice sculpture. There are no injuries on his body. According to the surveillance, he was killed by Jiang Chongyue." Tang Ruoshi said solemnly, "The Law Enforcement Bureau has found the abyss. They hope to talk to you." "I'll be right back." After speaking, Jiang Chongkong hung up. He took off his black robe and went to the stone house of the research institute. It was too evil to enter the city and kill someone, even if Yun Tianshan had poisoned him first. However, there was no evidence. The Law Enforcement Bureau would definitely question him. Jiang Chongkong had already expected this. He did not care. Unless he exposed himself, no one would be able to find out. When he came to the stone house, there were many people other than the research institute team. Li Changtian and the other two were there too. Chongkong. When everyone saw him, they quickly went up to him. "Are you really fine?" "I'm fine. The poison has been neutralized." Jiang Chongkong smiled. "Look at me. Do I look like I'm in trouble?" "Chang Kaisheng, hello. I'm in show from the Law Enforcement Bureau of Pingon City." A middle-aged man walked over with a heavy expression. "I have something to ask Chang Kaisheng. Is it convenient?" Behind in show there were a few martial artists. The weakest was at the Stargate level. As for in show, Jiang Chongkong could not see through him. "It's my responsibility to cooperate with the Law Enforcement Bureau's investigation," Jiang Chongkong said calmly. "If you have anything to ask, feel free to ask." And Shou nodded slightly. "Please tell me where you and Jiang Chongyue were last night and where he went in the end." "I was accidentally poisoned yesterday. I wanted to find a place to force the poison out, but I didn't expect him to be nearby. I couldn't force the poison out by myself. It was him who helped me out." Jiang Chongkong pondered for a while and said, "After that, according to him, he fainted after the poison was forced out. He did not know what happened after that. As for looking for Tang Ruoshi to ask about Yun Tianshan's residence, he said he did not know. He was unconscious at that time. When he woke up, he was woken up by the sound of a phone. Jiang Chongyue was nowhere to be found. The poison of the Sin domain, he deserved to die." Li Changtian interrupted. And Shou's expression was heavy. "This is a serious matter. I will investigate it personally. Since I have already asked, I will not stay any longer." With that, Shou left with the people behind him without hesitation. "They left just like that?" Jiang Chongkong was startled. He had thought of a lot of things to say. In the end, he could not use them anymore? Of course they left. Compared to Yun Tianshan's death, the poison of the Sin domain is more serious. Ji Young-sung sneered. "I have already asked someone to investigate. That person from the Yun family did not escape. He is still in the Sin domain. Someone should have helped to send him out. But who would be so daring?" Li Changtian pondered. Jiang Chongkong asked curiously, "What kind of place is the Sin domain?" And Dingbang was also curious. "That person from the Yun family, there has been no news of him for more than 10 years. Did he go to the Sin domain?" The Sin domain is also known as the Land of Exile. All the evildoers from the Federation will be exiled to the Sin domain. Unless there are special circumstances, they will never be able to return to the Federation. It can be said that they are left to fend for themselves. Ji Young-sung said indifferently. Then the punishment is too light. Jiang Chongkong curled his lips. It's just a change of place to live. Furthermore, it's a place with no restrictions. Dingbang nodded his head. That's right. It's better to just kill him. It's a pity to kill him. Ji Youngsung smiled and shook his head. If you guys had committed a huge crime and were exiled to the Sin domain, you would know how miserable it is. Li Changtian replied indifferently. A group of heinous criminals living together. If President An were to go there, I'm afraid he would not live past a day. Young Master Li, you are looking down on me. Although I cannot compare to that person from the Yun family, but if he can survive, why can't I? And Dingbang said unhappily. Back then, he was only at the initial stage of the star spirit realm. Chongkong, this is the information on the Yun family. Ji Youngsung passed the phone to him. Chapter 171. Jiang Chongkong took the phone and checked the Yun family's information. There was very little information, only about 1,000 words or so, but more than half of it was about a person's introduction. Yun Bugue. More than 10 years ago, the peerless genius of the Yun family was said to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the geniuses of the major provinces. 18 years old, early-stage star spirit. This was similar to what Yao Meng had said. An 18-year-old star soul was generally only found in major provinces. One had actually appeared in the tranquil province's Yun clan. Because of this genius, the Yun family flourished for a period of time, and the entire younger generation of the tranquil province looked up to Yun Bugue. Even some of the prodigies from the major provinces, including the proud daughter of the Sea family, had acknowledged Yun Bugue's talent. Such a genius should have led the Yun family to glory. It might not be possible for the Yun family to be as powerful as the great Jian province, but it wouldn't be a problem for them to be slightly more powerful than the great Jian province. However, who would have thought that Yun Bugue would be too arrogant a decade ago? He was so arrogant that he didn't give face to anyone in the Stability province, and he even wanted to snatch some resources that he fancied. In the Tranquil province, the various powers were intertwined, and the relationships between them were complicated. Not to mention that it was too exaggerated. Just look at Dingbang and he could pull out a Li Changtian. In this day and age, who didn't know a few amazing people? This was just the beginning. Yun Bugue's talent was indeed terrifying, and he had defeated many prodigies from the major provinces. Then, he became arrogant, thinking that the geniuses of the major provinces were only SOSO. He directly entered the major provinces and challenged the geniuses of the major provinces. Therefore, it provoked the little perverts of the big provinces back then. After that, it was the start of the tragedy. Yun Bugue was beaten up by these perverts one after another. His talent was strong, and the geniuses of the major provinces all acknowledged it, but not his character. Moreover, none of those little freaks were inferior to him in terms of talent, and they were all nurtured by great forces. It would be strange if he could beat them. After his defeat, Yun Bugue's heart was twisted and he showed signs of going crazy. After returning to the Tranquil province, he began to mercilessly exploit the resources of the various powers within the province to strengthen himself. In the end, they even extended their hands into the Federation's industries. Then, tragedy befell him. The Federation sent over a dozen pinnacle astral spirits to crush him and throw him into the Sin realm. What a pity! What a waste of talent! After reading it, Jiang Chongkong felt a little regretful. He felt pity for the talent, not the person. Look at Dingbang. How many times had he been beaten by him? Yet, he was still living like a heartless person. Ji Youngsung said calmly, in the long history of mankind, which era didn't produce one or two monsters? He's nothing. Just like the Sea clan, there are only two in this generation, Li Changtian said faintly, indescribably envious. Ji Youngsung laughed heartily. In this generation of the Sea family there were indeed two proud daughters of the heavens. Their talents were terrifying. There are two monsters here as well. And Dingbang muttered softly, Changkong and Changyue. Yeah, these two fellas have far surpassed Yun Bugue. Li Changtian said sourly, how nice it would be if I had the talent. Jiang Changkong smiled faintly and didn't say anything. Ji Young-sung continued, however, the mastermind has not been found yet. Changkong, you have to be careful. I will be careful, Jiang Changkong said indifferently. Are you guys done chatting? If so, let's get down to business. Tang Ruoshi said. We're done chatting. What's the matter? Jiang Changkong asked. He didn't take Yun Bugue's matter to heart. It had been more than 10 years, so what if his strength had increased? He was in Sin Domain and couldn't return. It was impossible for him to find trouble. Professor Yun sent a letter. The mineral vein detector has been completed, but you guys need to complete the mission first. Tang Ruoshi held her phone and said, I'm worried that you guys won't do the mission for the mineral vein. If the mineral vein was a medium-sized one, and they could get a share of it, the mission reward was nothing compared to it. There are no star demon within 5 miles. This is troublesome. Jiang Changkong pondered. It will take a few days. You guys leave first. And Dingbang nodded. It will be troublesome to clean it up. Also, we can't guarantee that we won't attract a late-stage star spirit star demon. We will leave. Tang Ruoshi and the rest nodded. Alright, there's no time to lose. You guys get ready to leave. I'll discuss with President and about our next move. Jiang Changkong thought for a moment and turned to Ndingbang. Ndingbang frowned. Chiang Kai-sheng, don't talk about how much. Although you're strong, you're just one person. I have 100 brothers to feed. There are no star demon within 5 miles. Why don't we each take charge of half of the area? We'll split the points according to how many star demon we kill. How about that? Jiang Changkong suggested. This. And Dingbang pondered. Jiang Changkong was very strong, but he was just a single person. With his strength and some equipment, he should be able to beat him easily. It seemed that he had a better chance of winning. If it were a duel between two presidents, he would have no chance of winning if the points and star stones were split. Li Changtian, his backer, was obviously unreliable. He had even been beaten by Jiang Changkong. Ji Young-sung wanted to rope in Jiang Changyue, but he couldn't go against Jiang Changkong. And Dingbang hesitated no more. Okay, it's settled. How do we divide the area? Ji Young-sung said lightly. Changtian and I will be the notary. We'll use the stone house as the dividing line. Write the contract, Jiang Changkong said indifferently. Okay. And Dingbang nodded and signed the contract with Tang Ruoshi and the others as witnesses. Jiang Changkong put it away with satisfaction. He could definitely take up more than half. He said, why don't we make a bet? What bet? And Dingbang frowned. Let's use our harvest as the bet. Whoever kills more and of higher quality will get the other party's harvest, Jiang Changkong said. No, I never gamble. And Dingbang shook his head. You're the president of Budokai. How can you be so stingy? Jiang Changkong said with disdain. What's wrong with letting me make some money? How about I bet with you? Ji Young-sung smiled. You? Are you going to fight too? Jiang Changkong frowned. How about this? I'll ask 2 mid-stage star power cultivators to come and assist President N. You can ask Jiang Changyue to come and help you. If you lose, you'll ask Jiang Changyue to sell you guy to me. If you win, you can have all the harvest. Ji Young-sung smiled. I'm obviously at a disadvantage. Not only will I lose my harvest, but I'll also have to bring Changyue down. Jiang Changkong shook his head. I'll add more star stones. No, if he knows that I'm betting with you guy, he'll probably kill me. Jiang Changkong shook his head again. You're not going to bet 3,000 star stones of upper grade? Or are you not confident in yourself and Jiang Changyue? Ji Young-sung said with a smile. Haha, you're goading me. I won't fall for it. How about 5,000? What kind of person do you think I, Jiang Chongkong, am? 6,000 is the most I can offer. Besides, they're only mid-stage star spirits from Ping City. They're not from the Feng family. How much? 6,000. I'll fall for it. Go and invite them. Ji Young Sung was speechless. Sure enough, this guy only recognized star stones and not people. Just a moment ago, he kept saying that Jiang Zhangyue would chop him to death. Now that he had star stones, did he not want Jiang Changyue anymore? It was really sad. Jiang Zhangyue was such a genius, but why would he take a fancy to him? Chapter 172. If Jiang Changyue was really his friend, Jiang Chongkong definitely wouldn't bet. But Jiang Changyue was his disguise. That was him. Now that someone was giving him star stones, there was no reason not to accept it. Near the stone house, there was still some distance from the area where the late-stage star spirit Star Demon appeared. Even if the Star Demon really came, with his terrifying 5 senses, it wouldn't be a problem for him to run away in advance. He wasn't in a hurry. Ji Young Sung still had to hire someone. Jiang Chongkong also pretended to go out. When he came back, his face was covered in dirt and he had a trace of cold aura. What happened? Ji Young Sung and the others were shocked. Seeing him in such a sorry state, they wanted to laugh but didn't dare to. Nothing. I just tripped and fell into the lunar cold pool. Jiang Chongkong said calmly. The scorching sun star power was activated and the cold aura was dispelled. Haha, you got beaten up, didn't you? Li Changtian gloated. It's none of your business. Jiang Chongkong was a bit annoyed. But in their eyes, he was obviously trying to cover up. He must have been beaten up. Who asked you to take out you guy as a bet? You failed. Ji Young Sung was a bit disappointed. It seemed that Jiang Changyue was still rational. It wouldn't work if he wanted to win you guy with a bet. How is that possible? Jiang Chongkong snorted and a lunar long blade appeared in his hand. The hilt was decorated with you guy. I gave you this blade first. You win. You take it. Ji Young Sung, Li Changtian and Ndingbang were dumbfounded. Did he really give it to him? The three of them looked at him with complicated expressions. Their eyes were red and they looked at him with jealousy. Why Why is God so unfair? How could such a prodigy be so king loyal to you? First, he killed for you. Now, he even took out his treasures for you. Why don't I have such friends? Jiang Chongkong frowned slightly when he saw the gazes of the three of them. Don't tell me that you don't have star stones? Definitely. I'll let you see it by tonight at the latest. Ji Young Sung took a deep breath and said, My 2 friends will be here soon. President In, do you have any objections? Jiang Chongkong looked at Ndingbang. No, Mr. Ji's idea is my idea. Ndingbang quickly said. This was a good opportunity to curry favor with him. Moreover, with the help of 2 middle-stage star spirits, victory was assured. Where's Jiang Changyue? Why only the Tai-In saber? Ji Young Sung looked puzzled. Jiang Chongkong's face was slightly pale, but he forced himself to be calm. He won't do anything. He trusts me. Listening to his unconfident words, Ndingbang laughed very happily. Ji Young Sung's smile faded in an instant. He said solemnly, How can I do that? Wouldn't it be me taking advantage of you? Jiang Chongkong suggested, Why don't you not invite anyone? Ahem. Ji Young Sung coughed and turned his head away. I can't go back on my word. I've already informed them. Why don't you invite another middle-stage star spirit? Jiang Chongkong chuckled. Apart from them, the only person he knew in Ping City was Tang Ruashi. Who else could he invite? He did know an early-stage star spirit, an Yuanshan, but that guy wanted to pull him into the army. Why don't I go first? You guys wait for your friends. That way you won't be taking advantage of me, Jiang Chongkong said. Okay, Ji Young Sung agreed immediately. The people he invited would arrive in a few minutes. How many people could Jiang Chongkong kill in the next few minutes? Besides, killing the star demon would be tiring. If he killed it first, it would be a waste of energy. They made an agreement to check each other's dimensional equipment. If there were no extra star stones, the research team would leave behind equipment and record everything. With the stone house as the boundary, Jiang Chongkong could not cross it. Jiang Chongkong quickly left. He was on the left, and Dingbang and the others were on the right. Jiang Chongkong stepped into the weeds and looked for the star demon. There were many star demon here. Jiang Chongkong used the old method. There were no late-stage or peak star demon nearby, so he could use this method. Kill the star demon and let it bleed. Then, he activated the Yuling art. Invisible astral power spread out and pushed the blood away. With the support of the Yuling art, the blood qi drifted away very quickly. Ji Young-sung and the others could smell the blood, but they didn't care. A few minutes later, the two mid-stage star spirits he invited arrived. Jiang Chongkong had seen one of them before. It was An Lin, who was at the peak of the mid-stage. Other than them, An Yuanshan, an old friend, was also here. An Yuanshan came to Jiang Chongkong and smiled. "Do you need my help, Chongkong?" "No need," Jiang Chongkong refused directly. "You're so young. Why are you so stupid?" And Yuanshan stood on the side and chattered. "You're obviously giving away benefits for free. You're also harming your friends." "Shut up. I'm busy," Jiang Chongkong said coldly. There were already dozens of star demon corpses around them. Thick blood energy was drifting in the air. I'm just worried about you. How long will it take for you to kill them one by one like this?" And Dingbang has sent out all of Budokai. There are at least dozens of them this time, and that's not counting the two star spirits. And Yuanshan didn't shut up. Jiang Chongkong didn't want to talk to him. The Yuling art vibrated and the blood energy scattered. "You rumble." As soon as An Yuanshan's voice faded, the earth shook and dust flew in the air. Astral power rushed in all directions. The ground cracked and the weeds turned to dust. The star demon roared and rushed over. "Are you crazy?" And Yuanshan's expression changed. He finally knew what this guy was going to do. Lure the star demon group. He knew a little about Jiang Chongkong's strength. If it was just some star hidden and star spirits, it wouldn't be a problem for him. But what if he attracted the mid, late, or even peak star spirits? Moreover, even if the late and peak star spirits didn't appear, once he used up too much energy and was surrounded by the star demon group, he would be dead. The star demons rushed over from all directions and smoke and dust billowed. The commotion was so big that even the people from Qi Yong Star could see it clearly. Jiang Chongkong didn't pay attention to An Yuanshan. The scorching sun's astral power rushed into the sky, forming a golden sun in the air. It was like a giant sun, illuminating the surrounding space. The high temperature caused the blood energy below to evaporate. Roar! The terrifying temperature appeared. The charging star demon wasn't used to it. It instinctively activated its astral power and rushed towards the sun. "Scorching sunblade," Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. The flames shook and released thousands of rays of golden light. The golden light shone through the air and turned into rays of blade aura. The approaching star demon was directly cut in half. Some were even minced into pieces. And Yuanshan was shocked. He hurriedly left, afraid of coming into contact with the golden light. Roar! The star demon howled and wailed. The smell of blood became thicker and thicker, attracting more and more star demon. Jiang Chongkong stood with his hands behind his back. Astral power rushed into the sky and continued to pour into the sun, releasing the scorching sun blade aura. Wherever the sun passed, there was only blade aura. The smell of blood drifted in the air. And Dingbang and the others who were cleaning up the star demon were stunned. The star demon in their area had run away. They were all attracted by the smell of blood and rushed towards Jiang Chongkong's direction. F***ck, that's despicable. The star demon is gone. What are we going to kill? Let's go and ask. We can't cross the boundary during the competition. Everyone, what a schemer. So there was such a shameless scheme. No wonder he dared to make the bet. And Lin said calmly, don't worry. He can't kill so many. Plus, there are too many star demon here. He can't lure them all. Hearing this, everyone calmed down. However, even though he couldn't lure them all, he could still cause trouble for them. If they wanted to find the star demon, they would have to continue forward. Chapter 173. The star demon kept coming, attracted by the thick smell of blood. It seemed to be endless. The blazing sun hung high in the sky, constantly releasing golden blade auras. Wherever the sunlight passed, the star demon would fall, the smell of blood almost forming a blood cloud. Jiang Chongkong channeled blazing sun star power while paying attention to the star demon. If there was a stargate grade or above, he would start digging for star stones. He believed that after clearing out the star demon, with the winnings from the bet, he should be able to perfect another martial art. And Dingbang led the Budokai members, far away from Jiang Chongkong, in search of the star demon. Although the smell of blood attracted a lot, they could still find the star demon if they ran further away. After killing a star demon, and Dingbang could not help but say, "Do you think Jiang Chongkong is courting death? He is alone, how can he win against us?" Could it be, he was scared by the reputation of the Tai-Yin Dragon clan? Ji Young-sung pondered. Because he was scared, he purposely found an excuse to sell Yu Gai to him? Li Changtian frowned slightly. Jiang Chongkong should not be so cowardly. Could it be, the Sin domain poison made him feel a sense of danger and know to find someone to rely on? The three of them could not understand, no matter how they thought about it. Jiang Chongkong purposely let Yu Gai give it to them. "Mr. Ji, isn't an Yuanshan over there? Why don't you ask?" An Dingbang said. "Asking about the opponent's information? I'm afraid it's not good?" Ji Young-sung hesitated. "We have already killed over 100. What's not good about it? It's best to give that guy a blow. He was so arrogant before." Li Changtian said excitedly. "If you don't ask, I'll ask." Starting from the Sin domain poison, that guy finally changed a little. If we don't take this opportunity to strike them down now, it will be meaningless to strike them down in the future when they are roped in. Ji Young-sung thought about it. Li Changtian's words made sense. If he didn't take this opportunity to strike him down, it would be boring to strike him down when he became one of them in the future. Their statuses would be different. He took out his phone and dialed an Yuanshan's number. "Uncle An, Yongxing, why aren't you killing the star demon? What's the matter?" And Yuanshan asked curiously. "Are you close to Jiang Chongkong?" Ji Young-sung asked. And Yuanshan took a look and said, "It's a bit far." He was already far away, afraid that he would be affected. He did not have the confidence to withstand that saber light. Ji Young-sung raised his voice and said proudly, "Then I'll have to trouble you to tell him that we've killed over 100 of them." Beep beep. Ji Young-sung. Why did he die? Could it be that Jiang Chongkong heard it and snatched the phone in anger? He died? Jiang Chongkong must have heard it and was embarrassed. Li Changtian laughed. "Haha, I want to laugh when I think of his defeated expression. Quick, take a few pictures." And Dingbang laughed. Ji Young-sung was also laughing. He was about to make another call when his phone rang. It was a video, and Yuanshan sent it. Could it be Jiang Chongkong's defeated expression? They hurriedly clicked on it. Everyone's eyes widened in shock. The three of them, F***CK in the video, a blazing sun hung high in the sky, releasing endless golden light. Under the blazing sun, there were many star demon corpses. Their blood aura formed blood clouds in the sky. Blood clouds that even the blazing sun could not disperse. There were more than 100 star demon? There were definitely 200 to 300 of them. This. Ji Young-sung opened his mouth, but did not know what to say. "Don't worry, we can easily catch up," Li Changtian said in a low voice. And Dingbang whispered, "Why don't we learn from him? He has a lot of star demon. We can kill many of them at once. We can try. Ji Young-sung gritted his teeth and said, we also have 2 mid-stage star spirits and you, an early-stage star demon. There's no problem at all. And Ding Bang was right. Jiang Chongkong had attracted too many star demon. As for them, there were many of them and most of them were experts, but they were looking for trouble with the star demon. The time wasted was enough to kill many star demon. Jiang Chongkong had just taken out a star stone from the peak of hidden star. And Yuan Shan's call could not be hidden from him, but he could not be bothered to answer. If he told him, he would know sooner or later. It was not a secret. Time passed bit by bit. More and more star demon appeared and the blood clouds in the sky became thicker. And Yuan Shan had already left. It was boring to watch, especially since Jiang Chongkong was still ignoring him. Roar. With a low roar, an early-stage star spirit star demon dashed out from the depths. It passed through the blood clouds and stepped on the star demon's corpse. Jiang Chongkong only glanced at it. The sun above his head suddenly exploded and a blade aura slashed down. He had obtained a low-grade 6th-grade star stone. How nice. The blood clouds are a bit thick. Jiang Chongkong murmured. There was no one around. The power of the sun descended and extracted the essence, chi and spirit, burning the star demon's corpse. The blood clouds were too thick now. He had to reduce some of it. The power of the sun burned and the terrifying temperature forcibly shone through the blood clouds, reducing the blood clouds. Ichem, over there? Jiang Chongkong looked in the direction wherein Ding Bang and the others were. There was a thick blood cloud there. These guys were learning from him? How naive. I hope you can keep killing. Jiang Chongkong didn't mind. He could kill for a day and a night without rest. That was, of course, if there weren't too many mid-stage star spirits. The star demon was still charging over. Jiang Chongkong controlled the sun to clean up the star demon. Time passed. Soon, night fell. Ji Young-sung and the others were about to eat when an Yuanshan ran over. I just came from Chongkong's side. He doesn't want to eat anymore. Ji Young-sung said, what's there to eat? Keep killing. Keep killing. There are more than 100 of us. If we lose to one person, I won't be able to show my face anymore. And Ding Bangon roared in anger and quickly stuffed the bun in his hand into his mouth. The others in Budokai didn't say anything. The president made sense. If they couldn't beat Jiang Chongkong with so many people, they really didn't need to show their faces anymore. We won't eat either. I'm no match for him in a one-on-one fight, but how can we lose to him when it comes to killing the star demon? Unlin was competing with Jiang Chongkong. Another mid-stage star spirit nodded. That's right. We've killed more star demon than Jiang Chongkong. We can't lose. This concerns the reputation of Pingon City. You can't lose, and Yuanshan said seriously. Uncle Yuanshan, how far have we left Jiang Chongkong behind? Ji Young-sung asked. And Yuanshan, that question of yours is so King good. What's wrong? Ji Young-sung's expression was unnatural, and Yuanshan's face twitched. Don't worry. If you kill another third, you'll catch up to him. The others, that hurts, uncle. Si Yongxing's face was filled with shame, and the rest of the people's faces were even redder. Kill. Kill them all. Li Changtian said fiercely. It was fine if they couldn't beat him, but they still couldn't beat him with more than 100 people? And Dingbong's expression was solemn. This was a competition between 2 Budokai cultivators. They couldn't lose. The group went on a killing spree. Their blood was getting thicker and thicker. Unlin killed a star demon with 1 slash and said seriously, peak early stage star spirit. Should we stop? No, we just said we have to kill them all. With us here, we can kill even mid-stage star spirits, another mid-stage star spirit said confidently. Unlin thought about it and agreed. Let's keep going. And Yuanshan watched quietly and didn't help them cheat. Jiang Chongkong killed another group of star demon. The astral power in his body was still surging. After thinking about it, He injected some astral power into the sun and sat down to recover. Ding. 2 hours later, his phone rang. It was in Yuanshan. He picked up unhappily. What's up? Chongkong, help, Jiang Chongkong? Chapter 174. Jiang Chongkong held his phone in a daze. Help? Weren't you having fun running around? What do you mean by help? Rumble. Raging airwaves surged in all directions. Jiang Chongkong, who was far away, also felt the ground shaking. This was a late-stage astral spirit. Jiang Chongkong looked up and looked in the direction where Ji Young-sung and the others were. He hurried over without hesitation. Could it be that this bunch of idiots had gone overboard? Just as Jiang Chongkong thought, this group of fellows had gone too far. It was even more ridiculous than the first time. They had attracted a late-stage astral spirit star demon. Looking at the thick blood cloud in front of him, Jiang Chongkong's expression was solemn. He didn't dare to do this. Once the blood cloud was thick enough, he would burn a part of it with fire. He would make sure that the blood chi wasn't too strong and it wouldn't drift too far. He remembered the requirements of the research institute: no star demon in a 5-mile radius. As long as they cleared out the 5-mile radius, they wouldn't have to rush to attract the further star demon. However, Jiang Chongkong didn't expect that they would dare to do this. Rumble. The earth shook and space shook. Terrifying starlight illuminated 1,000 meters. Boundless starlight shone resplendently. A huge and ugly star demon swallowed a star demon's corpse in one gulp. Astral power burst out, golden sword auras, yellow sword auras, moon power. At this moment, Ji Young-sung and the others didn't dare to hold back. Everyone burst out with their full strength. However, in the face of a late-stage astral spirit star demon, they were as fragile as ants. Wherever the dazzling starlight passed, all of the attacks were dispersed with a loud bang, like fireworks that disappeared in an instant. Anlin and the 2 mid-stage astral spirits bore the brunt of the impact. They were sent flying a few hundred meters under the impact of the astral power. Blood spilled. Under the impact of the astral power, no one was able to stand still, and they were all sent flying. Some of the weaker Stargate martial artists died on the spot, their life force severed. And Yuanshan fell heavily on the ground. Ignoring his injuries, he quickly got up. Anlin, we'll try our best to delay them. You guys run. Understood. Anlin and Chen Fan stood up with a solemn look on their faces. They stood in front of everyone and activated their astral powers to the maximum. Roar. The star demon roared. Countless beams of starlight shot out, making him look like an unrivaled demon god. With every step he took, the earth shook and dust flew into the air. I didn't expect that I wouldn't die there, but in the abyss of Ping and City. And Lin's expression was solemn and cold. Fallen leaves return to their roots, it's time to be content. Another mid-stage star spirit said solemnly. Boom. The earth shook and the star power exploded. The star demon's sharp claws gathered thousands of starlight and shrouded everything. Kill! The 3 of them shouted and rushed toward the star demon, buying time for Ji Young-sung and the others to retreat. Don't forget about me! And Dingbang shouted and slashed with his heavy sword. 3 mountains, 5 peaks. 1 blade, sunset. Suddenly, thousands of rays of light appeared in the air, turning into a bloody blade aura. The blade of the setting sun was past its prime. Jiang Chongkong had finally arrived on his Xian Sunday boom. The violent astral force descended and several majestic astral forces clashed in an instant. Puff! Crack! Blood spilled and the sound of bones breaking was heard. Terrifying astral powers spread in all directions, and Yuanshan and the others were flung away. Jiang Chongkong's expression darkened. He tumbled in the air and almost landed on the ground. He slid back more than 10 meters before he could stabilize himself. Blood dripped from his hand. Jiang Chongkong's expression was solemn. There was still a big gap between him and a late-stage star spirit. He had used all his power, but he was injured by the star demon's attack. Just then, he had used all 5 force tattoos in his body, and he hadn't even been pushed back by the star demon. Chong Kong. And Yuan Shan and the others were overjoyed as they hurriedly called out. Hurry up. I don't care if your legs or arms are broken. I can only give you 3 seconds to escape. Jiang Chongkong's expression was solemn. He had held back when he came. He should be able to hold on for 3 seconds. Let's go. Lin and the others didn't hesitate. They supported in Yuanshan and in Dingbang and left. As for the other martial artists, they had already run for a while. If Jiang Chongkong could buy them 3 seconds, it would be enough for them to escape. Roar. The star demon roared again. The terrifying roar shook the sky and was deafening. Terrifying astral powers burst out and it slashed at Jiang Chongkong with its claws. Kill. Jiang Chongkong raised his blade towards the sky and slashed out with the saber of the setting sun boom. The blade aura fell and the claws fell. A terrifying power burst out. Jiang Chongkong grunted and was sent flying 100 meters. Chongkong. Lin and the others had already run for 100 meters when they turned back to look, and they couldn't help but let loose an urgent cry. If they left, Jiang Chongkong would be in danger. We can't just leave like this. The other mid-stage astral spirits' face darkened. You take them away. I'll go help him. I'll go help. Lin had just opened his mouth when a bone-piercing cold air burst out. The terrifying lunar chill swept across the sky. A long sword embellished with laurel and shimmering with moonlight pierced through the air and went straight for the star demon. Jiang Chongyue. The 4 of them were overjoyed and let out a sigh of relief. It's him. In the distance, Ji Youngsung stared at the hazy moonlight. It was the moon obscuring technique. Sunset. Jiang Chongkong's sunset blade rose again. This was the sword he had left behind before he came here. If he wanted to stop the star demon and buy time for them, the scorching sun star power alone was not enough. Therefore, he had left the moon sword on the way here and used the 3 graceful swords to coordinate with the moon obscuring technique to control it. The moon sword and the sun sword converged and rushed at the star demon at the same time. Boom! The sunset blade aura shattered and Jiang Chongkong was sent flying again. The scorching sun star power couldn't break his defense at all. Then, the moon sword arrived in an instant. It was so fast that in Yuanshan and the others couldn't see it at all. Buzz! The moon sword collided with the beast's claw, but there was no sound at all. The moon sword was sent flying. Jiang Chongkong was already prepared. He jumped and caught the moon sword. Without hesitation, he turned around and left. Roar! The star demon roared. Just as it was about to give chase, silver icicles appeared on the sharp claws and spread rapidly. The star demon slowed down and the silver icicles spread all over its body, sealing it in ice. What are you waiting for? Jiang Chongkong shouted. He almost kicked Lin and the others who were still in a daze. Do you really think I can seal this guy in ice? It's just temporary. Lin and the others came back to their senses and ran away. The group ran quickly. The star demon paused for 2 seconds and then exploded with astral power, shattering the silver icicles. They ran for a few minutes until they couldn't see the star demon anymore. Thank you, Chang Kaishum. Lin panted and cupped his fist. What's wrong with you? How did you attract the star demon? Jiang Chongkong sat on the ground and panted. Luckily, Jiang Chongyue was nearby. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to save you. Ji Youngsung was a bit embarrassed. He blamed himself. I was too eager to win and caused this tragedy. I'll make it up to you. I'm afraid we'll have to wait for a while for the research facility. Jiang Chongkong frowned. We'll compete after the star demon leaves. What's the point? You won, and Yuanshan said weakly. Yongxing, just admit defeat. Ji Youngsung didn't want to admit defeat. He still wanted you Guy, but he had to admit defeat now. If he didn't admit defeat now, he wouldn't be able to face these people. Also, Jiang Chongkong had killed the star demon and was ahead of them. He would still lose even if they competed. Chiang Kai-shum won this time. Ji Young-sung took out the hidden star ring. President In, do you have any objections? Jiang Chongkong looked at Ndingbang. No, I still have to thank you for saving me. Ndingbang held his arm and said, Who has healing medicine? Quickly take it out and use it. Chapter 175. It was a pity that Jiang Chongkong accepted the 6,000 star stones, as well as the star stones they got from killing. If they hadn't attracted the late-stage star spirit star demon and caused the competition to end early, he would have won even more. The total number of star demons that he and these people had killed was only close to 300 hidden star demons. There were 600 to 700 Stargate-level star demons, let alone Starsea-level star demons. Among them, more than half were early-stage star demons. There were only a few top-grade star demons, a dozen high-grade star demons, and the rest were mid-grade star demons. There wasn't much essence chi left. But with the 300,000 essence chi he got from Lin Yunwang, it was more than enough to upgrade a martial art. I'll return the Taiyin sword to him. After Jiang Chongkong finished speaking, he stood up and left. It was safe here. He didn't have to stay here to look after them. Ji Young-sung had a pained expression. 6,000 star stones. You guy didn't win and had to pay 6,000. Sigh, if it wasn't for this accident, I think we still had a chance to win. After Jiang Chongkong left, Ji Young-sung couldn't help but mutter. How can we win? It's not like you didn't see Jiang Chongyue nearby. And Yuanshan's face twitched because of the pain from his injuries. If the situation wasn't right, would Jiang Chongyue not make a move? Ji Young-sung opened his mouth but couldn't say anything in the end. Yes, Jiang Chongyue would definitely make a move. He wouldn't lose you guy to him. This guy must have done it on purpose. He wanted to earn star stones. Don't think about it. Let's recover first. Li Changtian sighed. Luckily, he wasn't the one who lost. As they started to recover, Jiang Chongkong stayed away from them and extracted his essence chi. After thinking for a while, he decided to upgrade the cold moon art. Jiang Chongyue was stronger than him, and there was also Ji Young-sung, the rich little tycoon. Perhaps he could use the cold moon art to earn another sum of money from him. The cold moon art had reached perfection, and the star power in Jiang Chongkong's body increased. The power of the moon's star automatically dissipated and froze the surroundings. A silver moon rose above his head, sprinkling its moonlight. An hour later, Jiang Chongkong opened his eyes and checked his stats. Jiang Chongkong. Hidden Star Peak Middle Rank Martial Arts, Invincible Vajra Divine Art, Perfect, 1875000/1875000, Tai Chi Mysterious Art, Complete, 1875000/1875000, 3 Strikes of Grace, Perfect, 1875000/1875000, Blazing Sun Skill, Full Circle, 1/1875000, Yuling Chant, Perfect, 1875000/1875000, Cold Moon Art, Perfection, 1875000/1875000, Essence, Energy, Spirit, 318615 inch. I'm only missing one martial art. Jiang Chongkong was a little excited. He would soon be able to step into the Star Soul realm. Even if he wasn't invincible, he would still be among the top. He was confident in his own strength, but he wasn't as brainless as Yun Bugue. In this world of cultivation, there were always a few monsters. Didn't the Federation have any? When he reached the peak of the early stage or mid-stage of the astral spirit, he should be able to chat with those freaks in the big provinces. Before that, he had to complete the mission and set up a base for the research institute. After stabilizing his power, Jiang Chongkong went to the stone house. The star demon hadn't left yet, and was still eating the bodies. He didn't make a move. When the star demon was full, it would leave. Even if it didn't leave, he could just kill it somewhere else and then lure it away. With his current strength, he could only use the moon sword to fight against a late-stage astral spirit. But if he did that, he would have to activate the power of the moon star in the tip of the sword and Yu-Gai, which he couldn't control. When he returned to Ji Young-sung and the others, they had already counted the casualties. Almost everyone was seriously injured and more than 10 people had died. "I'm deeply sorry about what happened this time. I didn't expect you to learn my method," Jiang Chongkong said apologetically. "It has nothing to do with you. We were too impulsive." Ji Young-sung shook his head and said, "President N, I will take responsibility for the casualties this time." "Thank you, Mr. Ji. Everyone needs to rest for 2 days. There's a late-stage astral spirit star demon at the base, so it will also need a few days." And Dingbang cupped his hands and said, "Everyone, rest well for the next 2 days. We will fight again." "Fight again?" Jiang Chongkong frowned. "Didn't you all admit defeat?" "We lost to you, but we haven't set up a base yet," and Dingbang said. "As promised, we will help you complete the mission for free." Jiang Chongkong thought for a moment and said, "All right, the Star Ocean star stones are yours." He didn't care for them, but selling them would make him a fortune. It would be a way to comfort their wounded hearts. "Thank you," and Dingbang said and didn't say anything else. Jiang Chongkong glanced at the people who had stabilized their injuries. "See you at the base in 2 days. Please." They said goodbye and left. And Dingbang and the others had to go back to the city to treat their wounds. This time, their injuries were serious and they needed to go to the hospital. Jiang Chongkong had only suffered minor injuries before, so it was no longer a problem. He thought for a moment and changed the place to kill the star demon. There was no one around except him. Jiang Chongkong lit up the sun again. He was still cautious and kept his blood qi within a certain range. When he was tired, Jiang Chongkong went to the base to take a look. The next morning, the late-stage astral spirit star demon had already left. The stone house had been destroyed. At the 2 places where the star demon was killed, the corpses had all been eaten up. Because of the attraction of blood qi, some star demon had gathered here, but the number was not as much as before. Jiang Chongkong began to clean up the star demon. This time, he didn't make too much of a commotion. He was worried that the star demon was still nearby. 2 days passed quickly. And Dingbang came with 100 people from Budokai. During the past 2 days of recuperation, he had not been idle. He had recruited a few more people and made up the numbers. Ji Young-sung and the other 2 were there. And Yuan Shan and the others didn't come. "Chang Kaisheng, have you cleaned up the area?" And Dingbang first brought his people around and didn't see the star demon, so he came to find him. "There's no star demon within 4 miles. Only 1 mile left." Jiang Chongkong nodded. "I've seen it too. There isn't even an early-stage astral spirit in the last mile." "That's good." And Dingbang heaved a sigh of relief. "If that's the case, let's leave the rest to them." "Them?" Jiang Chongkong was confused. What did he mean by them? "My brothers from Budokai. Before we came, Professor Yun contacted me. She asked us to wait for her to check the mine." And Dingbang said in a low voice. Jiang Chongkong raised an eyebrow. "Didn't she say to wait for the stronghold to be established?" "Someone can't wait." And Dingbang gestured to Ji Young-sung. "Mr. Ji, you're interested in the mine too?" Jiang Chongkong squinted his eyes. There was a dangerous glint in his eyes. "It's a special time. Please understand, Chang Kaisheng." Ji Young-sung smiled. "You're already so poor? What if it's just a small mine?" Jiang Chongkong furrowed his eyebrows. Could it be that he had won so much that Ji Young-sung had to find a way to make more money? Ji Young-sung sighed. "There's an accident this time. You can check the official website of Budokai. The small mine in Jianghai has been taken." Jiang Chongkong turned on his phone and logged into the official website. As expected, the small mine mission had been taken. "It's done by the major provinces. They're collecting resources like crazy. Ji Young-sung said, I'm afraid it won't be long before even I can fight for the mine. You geniuses from the major provinces are fighting for profit. Don't you think it's embarrassing? Jiang Changkong's expression was gloomy. If that was the case, his opponents would not just be the forces in Tranquil Province. He would have to face Tranquil Province and the major provinces alone. There's no other way. Ji Young-sung shook his head and said, but there won't be too many of them. The empire has a lot of land with lots of resources. When are we going to the mine area? Jiang Changkong said no more. The first thing he had to determine was the grade of the mine. If it was a small mine, he would withdraw from the competition. If it was a medium mine, he would have to rely on his own ability. Chapter 176. Half an hour later, Professor Yun arrived in full armor. Beside him were Tang Ruoshi and Su Qian, who were also wearing armor. Professor Yun's armor was very strong and terrifying. Jiang Changkong felt like he was facing the star demon at the end of the day. It was a top or even a top-tier armor. Let's go, Professor Yun said calmly and led them to the mine area. Jiang Changkong and Tang Ruoshi walked side by side. He asked directly, is the Research Institute going to participate in the fight for the mine? Everyone there was powerful. Even if he lowered his voice, they would still hear him. So, he might as well ask openly. Let's not fight for the small mine. As for the medium one, let's try, Professor Yun said calmly. Ji Young-sung shook his head and sighed. Changkong, you should quit. You are alone. Jiang Changkong smiled and did not say anything. He was the president of a large Budokai, but no one in Budokai could fight except him. Moreover, in terms of numbers, there were not even 20 people in Budokai. It was crazy for a Budokai to participate in the fight for the mine. When they arrived at the mine area, a palm-sized instrument appeared in Professor Yun's hand. It was glowing with a yellow light. She handed the instrument to Ndingbang. President N, thank you. Okay. Ndingbang took the device and unleashed his astral power. Streams of astral power sank into the ground and went deep into the ground. He was a cultivator of the earth elemental technique and had a special control over the earth. With his astral power and the instrument, he could detect the mine more accurately. The instrument vibrated violently. There were 3 dots on it, glowing faintly. Ndingbang held the instrument and walked in the rocky area, sensing the location of the mine step by step. Suddenly, the needle on the instrument stopped moving and started vibrating violently. Ndingbang was overjoyed. He followed the direction of the needle and walked quickly. Buzz! 2 dots lit up on the device, emitting a resplendent light. A medium-sized mine. Ndingbang was overjoyed. It really is a medium-sized mine, Professor Yun and the others said excitedly. Ji Young-sung was also moved. This mid-sized ore vein is more than enough to support. Ndingbang was so excited that he couldn't help but take 2 steps forward. Before he finished speaking, the 3rd dot on the instrument lit up. The light shone brightly, overshadowing the 2 dots. This, Ndingbang stared blankly at the instrument, his face full of shock. Large-sized? Ji Young-sung was trembling. Large-scale or vein? Jiang Changkong's heart sank. To be honest, he only hoped that this mine was medium-sized. Large-scale or veins were destroyed as soon as they appeared. None of the major forces in the province would let go of such a good thing. As soon as the news got out, Ji Young-sung's reputation would skyrocket. He was nothing. He wouldn't even be able to get a place in the queue when the time comes. Li Changtian was the same. Participate in this kind of competition? More like asking for reinforcements. Chiang Kai-sheng, just give up. After the shock, Professor Yun sighed and said, the Research Institute will withdraw from the competition. She directly gave up. This large-scale or vein was not something she could get her hands on. At that time, she would have to face many major forces in the province, and even the Federation's forces. Goodbye. Ji Young-sung and Lee Changtian cupped their fists and quickly left. They wanted to pass the news back to discuss how to seize this large-scale ore vein as soon as possible. Ruoshi, accompany Chiang Kai-sheng. Xiao Qian, let's go to the stronghold. Professor Yun sighed, kept the instrument and left with Su Qian. In the blink of an eye, there were only 3 people left, Jiang Changkong, Tang Ruoshi, and Ndingbang. Ndingbang looked at the stone under his feet, sighed, and sat down casually. Changkong, don't be sad. With your talent, you will soon improve. Just find another ore vein. Tang Ruoshi comforted. I'm fine. Jiang Changkong smiled faintly and did not speak. He was weighing whether he should fight for it or not. If he fought for it with his current strength, it was not enough. Unless he could obtain a large amount of essence and step into the star spirit realm, it was impossible to compete with them. There was only one way to obtain essence, and that was to sell Yu Gai. But this thing he could not sell. He glanced at Ndingbang, who was sitting on the stone, and kept sighing. What are you sighing about? You are not fighting for it. I want to fight, but can I? Ndingbang muttered. I have suffered a double loss. What do you mean? Aren't you having a good time? Jiang Changkong was a little confused. It's a large ore vein. The weakest will be at the mid-stage of star spirit realm. There will be a lot of late-stage and peak ones. Ndingbang said gloomily, my Budokai only has me, an early-stage star spirit realm cultivator. It's not enough for them to destroy. You are indeed a bit weak. I can fight all of you. Jiang Changkong held his chin and looked at him. You know your place. Are you going to run errands with Ji Young-sung? Haha, if the news gets out, who do you think Mr. Ji and Mr. Li are? Ndingbang rolled his eyes and said grumpily. Then you can rely on them to ride on more powerful coattails, Jiang Changkong said. Ndingbang was silent for a moment and sighed. Do you think an elephant needs ants who can't help anything? They may only want cannon fodder. Jiang Changkong. It seemed that they really didn't need it. You're quite a smart person. So, President, and you're not going to find a backer? Tang Ruoshi asked. Let's do it this way. I've worked hard even if I don't have any credit. I'll follow the 2 young masters and see if I can get some benefit. Ndingbang gritted his teeth and said. He was still a bit unwilling to give up. Since he couldn't ride on someone else's coattails, he could only ride on someone else's coattails. Although this coattail might not be reliable, it didn't matter. As long as this matter was over, he could ride on someone else's coattails again. Why don't you ride on my coattails? Jiang Changkong said with a smile. As long as you give me more than 5,000 upper-grade 5th-grade star stones, I promise that no one can bully you. You? Forget it. Ndingbang glanced at him and said disdainfully. You should protect yourself first. You're also going to quit the fight. How dare you call yourself a coattail? Not to mention you, even if you add Jiang Changyue, you won't be able to protect yourselves in the fight. I'll wait for you to come to me. Jiang Changkong said in an affirmative tone with a smile on his face. Ndingbang frowned and didn't answer. Sister Ruoshi, let's go. Jiang Changkong left with Tang Ruoshi. He had to get his essence, qi, and spirit as soon as possible before things broke out. Should he let loose and start a massacre? His 5 senses were sharp, and he could run for a while. But if he was lucky, he would encounter a large group of hidden star demon. He would only kill 20 to 30,000 at most in a day. Ndingbang, this guy, should he think of a way to give him some pressure? He's a snobbish guy who doesn't want to ride on my coattails. He's not qualified. Changkong, what's your next plan? Tang Ruoshi asked. I'll kill some star demon. What else can I do? Jiang Changkong smiled and said, I'll have to trouble you to help me deal with the star stones. No problem. You don't have to feel pressured. You're still young. Relax, Tang Ruoshi advised. Well, I have some star stones here. I'll have to trouble you. Jiang Changkong handed over the star stones in his hand to her. He paused and said, Does the Research Institute accept lunar cold stones? I'll trade them for star stones. I'll ask the professor for you. Chapter 177. Professor Yun bought the lunar cold stone, but the price was very low. A palm-sized cold stone of the same grade could only be exchanged for a star stone of the same grade. This price was simply robbery. A palm-sized stone, with a few more, could be made into a lunar weapon. However, now that the 5th and 6th grade star stones were being hoarded, the star stone had become a rare item. Jiang Chongkong pondered. He would change the method of transaction when the time came. Professor Yun's hidden treasures. She had many good things in her hands. It was not only star stones that could produce essence, qi, and spirit. If he encountered the medicine made from the ardent sun's blood, the quantity would be considerable. He would kill the star demon during the day and dig for the lunar cold stone at night. As long as he did not go deep into the lake and encounter that terrifying sword qi, he would not be in any danger. Jiang Chongkong sent Tang Ruoshi to the stronghold and left directly. He went to the vicinity of the lunar cold pond, where Jiang Chongkong searched for the star demon and began his slaughter. His luck was average. In one day, he barely broke 10,000 points of essence, qi, and spirit. At night, Jiang Chongkong went deep into the cold pond, dug out the lunar cold stone, and stored it. He originally wanted to wait until after the city was built before developing it. This was equivalent to a mine. Once it was developed, he could obtain a lot of essence, qi, and spirit. After one night, he dug out hundreds of 5th-grade cold stones and more than 300 4th-grade cold stones. The main reason was that he did not dare to make too much noise. He was careful, worried that he would attract the star demon of the lunar lake. Early the next morning, Jiang Chongkong logged into the Budokai official website and clicked on the communication section. The news of the large mine had already spread yesterday. After a day and night of fermentation, the current communication section was almost full of posts about the mine. One by one, Budokai had already set off, rushing towards the abyss of Pingon City. They were all large Budokai. Jiang Chongkong's old acquaintances had also come. Yao Meng, Nan Tianwang. These were just the ones from other provinces. Tranquil Province, the major cities of Budokai, and the major factions were all sending people over. The current abyss could be said to be a gathering of experts. A hidden star-level martial artist wouldn't even be able to make a bubble in this place. Early-stage astral soul cultivators could only walk with their heads down, while mid-stage astral soul cultivators kept a low profile. A large group of late-stage star spirits had come, but there was no news from the peak for the time being. Don't come out for a few days. The Lin family, Yun family, and Jin family have hired helpers and are looking for you everywhere. Tang Ruoshi sent him a message. Jiang Chongkong's eyebrows twitched. These 3 clans had a grudge against him, and they wouldn't let this matter rest. He had already expected this. However, the strength he displayed was far beyond what they could deal with. At this time, the helper he invited was a late-stage star spirit? Only the late-stage star spirit realm cultivators would have the confidence to cause him trouble. I understand. Jiang Chongkong pondered for a moment. Right now, he had to get his essence, qi, and spirit first. He would let them search for it. Essence, qi, and spirit were the most important things. After reading the message, Jiang Chongkong went to kill the star demon again. Not long after, Jiang Chongkong stopped in his tracks. A lot of people appeared nearby. These people weren't weak. Almost all of them were hidden star martial artists, and they were all led by star spirit. I can't kill it here. Jiang Chongkong changed directions, but there were still people. Because of the large mine, too many people had come. Before the competition began, they had nothing to do and ran around. Jiang Chongkong wasn't clear about the specific competition, but he could guess some of it. The current situation could only be regarded as a small fight. When the major forces of the major provinces arrived, it would be the time to determine the final winner. There were people everywhere, and Jiang Chongkong could only choose to go deeper. After going deeper, although there was no one, he had to be more careful. A slight carelessness here could lead to a late-stage star spirit star demon. After a day of killing, Jiang Chongkong calculated that he only had about 5,000 essence, qi, and spirit. Helpless, he could only return to the lunar pond, but as soon as he arrived, he found that there were people here. A group of martial artists. They weren't people from the 3 families who came to find him, but people who were interested in the lunar pond. These martial artists jumped into the pond one by one, wanting to explore the mysteries inside. They don't know life from death. Jiang Chongkong shook his head gently. The strength of this group of martial artists wasn't bad. The weakest was at the early stage hidden star realm, and one of them was even at the mid-stage star spirit realm. Their strength was not bad, but once they reached the lunar lake, if they dared to go down, they would be food for the star demon. Back then, if he didn't have the Tai Chi body protection, Vajra indestructible, and sword point, he might have already died here. Friends, this place is dangerous. It's better not to go down. Jiang Chongkong changed into a set of black clothes and walked over. Dangerous? What haven't we seen before? Since it's dangerous, brother, just go further away. The martial artists laughed and didn't care at all. That's right. When we were training in the provincial capital, what haven't we seen before? We can even escape the pursuit of a late-stage star spirit realm, let alone a mere cold pond. Hearing these people's words, Jiang Chongkong shook his head and didn't say anything more. He started to walk away. Come, let's go down. The martial artists called out and jumped into the cold pond one after another. The cold pond fluctuated, water splashed, and then fell silent. The martial artists rushed into the cold pond and dove down quickly. They didn't encounter any danger at all. It's said that this cold pond is terrifying. How is this scary? A martial artist laughed. It's all the people of Peace City scaring themselves. What's scary about it? We can't even see the star demon. Let's go down quickly. They should be at the bottom now. Yes, let's go down quickly. I heard that the Lunar Ho family values the treasures here. Don't let them get ahead of us. The group of martial artists sped up again. Soon, they reached the bottom of the cold pond. The lunar lake appeared in their sight. This is the lunar lake? It's all condensed from the power of the lunar star. There must be a lunar treasure hidden here. A martial artist said excitedly. Yes, every generation of the Lunar Ho family will come here to search for treasures. The leading mid-stage star spirit realm martial artist smiled faintly. I heard that there's danger inside. Everyone, be careful. What danger can there be? I'll go first. A hidden star spirit realm martial artist jumped directly into the lunar lake. The water of the lunar lake rippled, and then there was a deathly silence. Where is everyone? Come out for a moment. The mid-stage star spirit realm martial artist frowned and shouted. The other martial artists felt a chill in their hearts, and their faces became more solemn. Splash! The water of the lunar lake rippled, and the martial artist's head popped out. I jumped too hard just now. It's too cold here. Be careful. The martial artists heaved a sigh of relief. How could the power of the lunar lake not be cold? Go down. The mid-stage star spirit realm martial artist rushed down, and the other martial artists hurriedly followed. I said, what danger can there be here? A martial artist said disdainfully. His head floated on the surface of the lake, and he looked around. Seeing a martial artist standing, he said in admiration, good strength. You can step on the lunar lake without any star power ripples. The martial artist was full of smiles. This is not strength, this is luck. This is as hard as iron, it should be a huge lunar stone. As he spoke, star power surged, and he directly grabbed at the hard silver white under his feet. Rumble! Suddenly, the lake water surged into the sky, and a huge, bloody mouth swallowed the cultivator whole. Everyone. What kind of luck was this? It's the star demon, quickly go up! The martial artists exclaimed and hurriedly swam up. Rumble! The lunar lake rolled up endless silver-white lake water, and many silver-white figures appeared from the lake. They were the same color as the lake water. If they did not actively expose themselves, they would not be discovered at all.